He also says, then again, to your point, he's ignoring them anyway. So what now? I need to research local election times and get on it as much as I can. And that's what I think we need more lives to be doing as well. For those that want to help change the trajectory of this, we as black people on all of our platforms, we need to find out people in our communities that have the ability and the bandwidth to be able to help change things, to connect them with other individuals as well, and create community for real and put those people in positions of power to change things for us if we're going to believe in the way of the system. Now, again, you ask me, I feel like we should not participate in the system at all and make something parallel. That's what I believe. But for those of you that want to believe in the system, like we have to come together and build communities and find people who have those gifts and talents and do what we need to do. Absolutely do what we need to do because again, they're proving to us, especially with the election results, they know how they feel about us. We know. But then it's like you want those people who y'all know that y'all hate, y'all want them to come in and fix y'all mess. You want to come to my house, be my maid? No, bitch, I don't. And I might steal some shit from your house, bitch. I'm just saying. This shit pisses me off. And then you got people that have the nerve to talk about the children save the children. Well, I guess the children are not going to be motherfucking saved at all. Thanks a lot. Destruction of the Department of Education.
They never was.
Because if niggas can't read, it's easier to incriminate them. That's another form of slavery that's legal. Like the Queen said, why don't we build some more prisons? Why don't we do all... Girl, okay then, girl. When your ass in there and we see each other in the prison, girl, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't ask me for some, man, I was trying to see, I need to release some stress. Nigga, you better learn how to suck your own shit. Don't talk to me. I might punch you in your throat. We already in prison, bitch. It's already the motherfucking The Wire, bitch. And just because I'm gay, y'all not gonna take my booty hole, bitch. I'm a top in real life. Girl, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a listen to Danielle Moody. And again, shout out to everybody in the group chat. Shout out to everybody in the group chat, girl, who sends me videos and stuff. They keep me very alert and alarmed about what's going on. Because I am a person that is empathic and I am and I'm becoming more aware of my spiritual side. I'm to myself a lot. I got to be to myself, and I don't check the group chat all the time, girl, because I got other shit I'm trying to work on as well in my own damn life. But when I do check it, and we do converse, the things that they share with me is amazing, and that's why I'm grateful to have them on the platform. And speaking on the platform, I'm so sorry. We got. Hold on. Let me hit this corny ass sound real quick. We got T for T in the building. What's going on, pimpin'? How you doing?
Yes.
Hey, glad to have you. See, I love these panel discussions. This is what I like because I know I talk a lot. That's my gift, but I love to hear from other people, and I love other people who talk as long as I do because that's how you do shit. But you damn McDonald's fast food driving and motherfuckers, girl. No, girl, this is home cooked meal. This is when you cut on some good old school music and shit. Motherfucking Angela Winbush and the Whispers and all them shit. And you cook and sing over your food, girl. Take some time. I'm just saying.
But I like McDonald's a little bit. Just a little bit.
Deshaun, you can be quiet. T for T, how you doing? What's going on? And what are your thoughts on what you've heard thus far? Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just got in, so I'm gonna have to listen to a little bit more and see what's going on here. I just got in. I've been in Cincinnati for like the last few days, so I'm trying to catch up on everything in our little short stack there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna listen to y'all a little bit further, and then I'll pop in. Because I just now signed in here. I just got home.
All right, well that's cool. Look, shout out to the replay gang if we got to go back, or hey, we in the present moment. We always flowing, so you are good. But let's go ahead and take a listen to Danielle Moody because I think she really gonna set in motion for it. This one is going to be pretty lengthy. It's about like maybe 17 minutes. But if any of y'all want to say anything, just tell me to pause and I'll pause it. But let's go ahead.
In the shower.
You said what?
Yeah, I'll be in the shower. I'm gonna listen to it though.
Oh, girl. Okay. In the shower then. But
The other day,
that's what I'm saying. He get hot. Bitch, what nigga you know get on the shower on the live?
I was about to put these together, but I'm
Hold on, bitch. Hold on, girl. Let me make this bigger screen, girl. How the fuck you get on live, girl? Woman, take a shower. Now, if that motherfucking camera come on and I get a strike on this shit, it's gonna be a problem. You showing your Bucci cat on my shit? Let me say it in my gay voice. Hold on.
It's gonna be cameraless, so you'll be good.
Don't show your Bucci cat on my shit, girl. To see mommy? To see mommy? Hold on 1 second.
That's one thing. And
you wanted it.
Okay.
You got it.
You what?
You wanted it.
And you what?
And you got it.
You wanted it. And you got it.
Yeah, I heard Tit for Tat wanted to see something or something. I heard something.
We about to show this video, girl, before you do some freak nasty shit. Anyway, y'all go ahead and mute. And when y'all want to speak, y'all can go ahead and speak. And Keon said, make sure you mute the shower. Okay? Because, girl, we ain't got no time for this motherfucker. Sometimes it's something. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm just playing, girl. Shower. Oh.
You really don't have the luxury to strive for perfection. You really don't. And for, I don't know, at this point, what? A decade? I feel like I have been speaking into a void. Trying to make people aware that the decisions that we make or choose not to make still have consequences. For those that wanted to abstain their vote this time around because of Gaza, well, Donald Trump is now ready and set to turn it into the French Riviera of the Mediterranean.
Gaza. Trump.
To relocate
Gaza.
an entire group of people, or just continue to allow Netanyahu to commit mass murder. Because also argue with somebody else. Because when you bomb every fucking hospital and university and then still want to talk about how these people that have no weapons and no country that is behind them are continue to be a threat, miss me with the bullshit.
Miss me too, goddammit. Again, for you motherfuckers out there that's justifying violence and discrimination against a bunch of motherfuckers that you can't prove are guilty to begin with, fuck y'all. And y'all gonna get called out on y'all bullshit every time. Because now it's getting dangerous. And be glad that people are still speaking out so that when it's your time, you wish you might have somebody there that might speak out on your behalf. Can't nobody speak out for you. Everybody's motherfucking gone. They're gonna be gone. All of them. Get rid of them. Fuck them. We're getting them done.
Here.
Fuck it. 10th bankruptcy America.
I'm a person that believes in human rights, and that means all humans. That even means the ones that I find despicable. That's what it means. I don't have caveats. Oh, I believe in justice and liberty and democracy, but not for that person over there or that person over there or that person over there. You either do or you don't. The ways in which we have allowed politicians to complicate shit that is really not that complicated. Either you believe that people should be able to live free and have self-determination, or you don't. It's really that basic. You don't need to have a degree in geopolitics or Middle Eastern studies or unpack the lines that were crossed in the 1960s and formulated in the 1940s. You don't need any of that. What you need to know is that babies shouldn't be blown up into pieces.
Hello.
That people should be able to live free and not under duress and have their homes taken from them. Shuttled into smaller and smaller space until they just cease to exist altogether because you don't like the way that they worship. I am so sick and tired of people telling us that this shit is complicated when it's fucking not. And that is how we have allowed ourselves to get into this place where it's like either people abstain from the conversation around human rights and justice altogether, or they want to give you all of these statistics. In fact, oh, you don't know. What I know is that my ancestors were brought to this country against their fucking will, shackled like animals at the bottom of a ship. And those that did not make it were thrown overboard like they were rubbish.
And for the individuals who feel like, oh, you know, well, it's always black people, it's always a Democrat mindset. They always got to talk about the past and the past and the past. The problem is the past keeps fucking repeating. That's the problem. The past keeps fucking repeating, and you niggas ain't doing nothing to help change the trajectory of it. If anything, you niggas have become comfortable in it. So yeah, and again, before we get over racism as far as black people, white people gonna have to also play their motherfucking part, bitch. Just like how we didn't like being forced into some shit. Well, guess what, white people? This is called karma. What karma looks like. You gotta make a sacrifice that's gonna fucking hurt for the betterment of humanity. So again, for you niggas that are saying that shit, especially for some of you niggas who lived during the 60s and 70s, the type of era that we're in right now, that wasn't even like nowhere near a fucking century, and y'all again lived through that, y'all need to be opening up your mouth and saying, how do you survive this encounter, as opposed to telling people that, oh, ain't nothing gonna fucking happen, even though it happened to you. I live in the same city, girl, when they had riots where the military was called in and fucking tank shell ejection cases, or shell cases, excuse me, being ejected into somebody's fucking house. Do your research. You know, the one research that they're trying to get rid of, the one research that they don't want to talk about, the one research to where they don't want their children to feel guilt and shame. No, your children need to feel guilt and shame. And the gag is, you don't want them to feel guilt. Girl, these Andrew Carver trying to jump on my tongue, girl. I told you I wish I can talk fast like Hope Giselle and not fuck up. But y'all feel some type of way because y'all feel like that hurt, guilt, and shame is really going to be reflected to you as a parent by your white child. How did you allow this to happen? Why didn't you check racist ass granddaddy, grandmama? Why you ain't check racist ass so-and-so, so-and-so? Why did you allow them to do this? Because now your children going to have to pay for this shit. Just like how a lot of you black motherfuckers that voted for Trump, your children going to have to pay for this shit. And not just your children, black children free in this country. But then y'all get mad at individuals like her that are educated, that learn about the system. The one thing that they really hate is an educated nigga, because an educated nigga could do what she's doing right now. But y'all sit up here and call her white. Or y'all sit up there and say that she throws around word salad and all this other type of stuff. Just because you too damn lazy and you can't sit up here and ask your phone how to define a word that you don't understand, that's on you. But there are some people who actually is honoring the hopes and the dreams of their ancestors by learning how to read, because our ancestors were murdered for trying to. And they're destroying the Department of Education and Justice, but education, so that your nigga child, your nigga son can remain ignorant, which means it will be easier for him to go to one of these prisons. Excuse me, school to prison pipeline, anyone? But that's okay. What do I know? I'm a fag, right? I just don't know anything. We're homosexual, so I guess we just don't fucking know.
That this country that could not have been created without them still in this century chooses to erase the fact that they were even brought here in the first fucking place and want to talk to us about their exceptionalism when they could do everything except labor.
Hello. Get your vampire ass out there in the sun,
I
bitch.
want us in this moment of great and deep despair, because I am in it today, friends. I have been vacillating in and out of tears all day, because there are some moments that just really hit you where I seek to find joy. I seek to look for pockets of peace. But then there are those days where the darkness just is.
Yep.
And I'm not going to pretend otherwise.
Yep. Yep.
Because I told you all here that when you decided to subscribe to this channel, to show up to this show on a daily basis, that I was going to tell you the truth, whether or not it was easy. Because the reality is that the truth is never easy. It's why people don't ever want to hear it. They would rather be lied to because that feels nicer. It felt better for 77 million Americans to believe that Donald Trump was going to make them all rich, was going to take away all those pesky black and brown people that, you know, been stealing their jobs and their livelihoods. That he was going to bring it back to the era where they were the captains of industry, where they were the ones that were in control. He played on their emotions because they can't deal with their lacking. They can't deal with the fact that the world around them has been changing, and then rather than figure out a way to keep up with that world, they'd rather it just stop or end possibility for other people so that they could feel like they were moving forward, even if they're standing still. So long as you can remove whatever perceived obstacles that you have in front of you, it seems like you're at the finish line. It doesn't matter whether or not this used car salesman has you shackled to discrimination and racism that will never actually have you move forward. Folks, today is a dark one, but I want to lift up some of the light that happened so that when we get to the dark part of today, we can hearken back to some actions that are being taken where all does not feel lost. Because what I want you to understand is that hopelessness is a weapon of white nationalism and autocracy. And even in our darkest days, if we cannot, as I always say, if you cannot find the light, be the light.
Hello. Pause. That's why I do what I do. That's why I commend individuals like Queen Stevie, like Deshaun, like Tifa T. I just met him recently. And all these other individuals. Shout out to y'all for doing that. Shout out for Tifa T. No shade. Not even just doing it, but being out in the streets and recording shit and showing us. So again, we're grateful for people who are doing that. So be the light, because it's about to be really dark around this bitch. We are in the coming attractions. We're not even in the movie yet. Matter of fact, we're not even in the coming attractions. We at the beginning with a nigga vacuuming the damn between the aisles and shit, and they playing local shit. 300, 588, 300. You're playing all the local fucking, I have a structured settlement. Girl, you sitting there, the light's still on. The lights ain't even cut off yet. And this is what's happening. Which is why right now, we got to continue to speak. Because there are going to be some people, even though they may be afraid, whatever you say is planted a seed in their mind. Because deep down inside, they know there's something fucking up. But again, who wants to be the one to admit and say that I'm wrong? Do you know how strong it is to say that you're wrong? Do you know how brave it is to face your fucking ego and say when you're wrong, when you are objectively wrong? We all been through that. We're all going to go through that. But there's healing in that aspect. And like she stated, there are some people who don't want to go down that path because that path is too painful. Well, maybe you should talk to some motherfuckers who actually survived the shit. I.e. the black people who survived the shit. I.e. the queer people that survived the shit. I.e. the degenerates of society who had a roach fucking spirit and still made it through no matter what. And you know you can't get rid of roaches. But something is wrong with us if history keeps repeating itself. If we are able to find greater ways to connect with each other, to learn more information, and we still don't get it, something is wrong. And then y'all talking about the children of tomorrow. Yeah, I'm starting to realize a lot of y'all want the children for tomorrow because now you can end up and pervert those human beings. And when I mean pervert, I'm not talking about the way which y'all think about homosexuality. I'm talking about in the fact that you want to take someone else's hopes and dreams and destroy them and implement your fucked out ass dreams and visions on them so that you can feel fulfilled. Y'all care about the children before they come in, and you care about their souls afterwards, and then you make their present living contingent on bringing them in and out, but y'all don't give a fuck about the people who's actually living this shit. And then you expect us to be calm, cool, and collected and speak with respect? When y'all playing in people's fucking faces? That's a crazy level of narcissism. And even though there's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers who will say yes, the universe likes playing games with bitches like them. The universe will sit there and say, oh yeah, and send you a motherfucker that would tell your ass no and show you better than they can fucking tell you. And it don't matter what your title is, how much money you fucking have, how many niggas know you, how many motherfucking prestigious individuals know your name and got your phone number. It don't matter about any of that shit until you can tell death to behave in such a way to where you tell death, I'm ready to die because I've lived a long ass life. Until you motherfuckers can do that or start raising the motherfucking dead, you niggas are human beings, which means that you are not exempt. Give a fuck. Let's continue.
Today I'm going to be a light bulb because I want us to think. I want us to think about the law firms that are capitulating to Donald Trump, that are deciding to go against, I don't know, their missions, their morals, all so that they can continue to make money. I want you to think about some of the institutions that have bended the knee because they think that it would just be easier to negotiate with terrorists than actually to stand firm in their beliefs. And then I want to show you what Harvard did today.
Show us. Harvard.
The president of Harvard issued a statement that was among the boldest that I have seen to date. He wrote this. Late Friday night, the administration issued an updated and expanded list of demands, warning that Harvard must comply if we intend to, quote, maintain our financial relationship with the federal government. It makes clear that the intention is not to work with us to address anti-Semitism in a cooperative and constructive manner. Although some of the demands outlined by the government are aimed at combating anti-Semitism, the majority represent direct governmental regulation of the, quote, intellectual conditions at Harvard. It goes on. I encourage you to read the letter to gain a fuller understanding of the unprecedented demands being made by the federal government to control the Harvard community. They include requirements to, quote, audit the viewpoints of our student body faculty, staff, and to, quote, reduce the power of certain students, faculty, and administrators targeted because of their ideological views. We have informed the administration through our legal counsel that we will not accept their proposed agreement. The university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. It goes on. The administration's prescription goes beyond the power of the federal government. It violates Harvard's First Amendment rights and exceeds the statutory limits of the government's authority under Title IX. And it threatens our values as a private institution devoted to the pursuit, production, and dissemination of knowledge. No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue. Our motto, Veritas, or truth, guides us as we navigate the challenging path ahead. Seeking truth is a journey without end. It requires us to be open to new information and different perspectives. To subject our beliefs to ongoing scrutiny and to be ready to change our minds.
Again, you MAGA motherfuckers, y'all ready to change your minds about what y'all thought about this shit? Because this is Harvard, the one place where the niggas can't go, remember? Because when the niggas get in, you're the DEI. Bitch, it seems like you're the DEI. Your motherfucking father donated a wing to the school or a statue, bitch. Do you? Matter of fact, let's put this on pencil to paper, bitch, and let's see who really deserves to be here. But they said they strive for truth. In order to strive for truth, what they stand for, as it reads, it requires us to be open, which means open with your fucking mind, to new information and different perspectives. That's why I'm glad I have people on the platform with me, because they think differently. That helps me to become better, because I don't fucking know everything. I'm gonna talk about the shit I do know, just like I asked for these individuals to talk about the shit that they know. And for you red pill motherfuckers, I wish y'all would talk about the shit that y'all know, because y'all keep talking about the shit that you don't. Okay? To subject our beliefs to ongoing scrutiny, which means you're gonna continue internally within yourself to deal with your own ego, especially if you've been in something like, let's say, organized religion for a big part of your life. It's going to be hard for you to accept the reality of it, the ongoing scrutiny, and be ready to change our minds. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind, especially when it's for the better, and I mean objectively for the better. But let's continue with what she was reading.
It compels us to take up the difficult work of acknowledging our flaws, so that we might realize the full promise of the university, especially when that promise is threatened. This was powerful. And sure, there will be those naysayers that say that, well, this is just one institution. This isn't just one institution. This is Harvard. This is an institution that people from all over the world, the elite of the elite, clamor to attend. Harvard receives roughly, what I've seen floated around, billions of dollars in grants from the federal government. They also have a very healthy endowment. And they decided to say no. Because much like I said at the top, the problem with terrorists is that if you give in to one thing, that one thing turns into a million things. This administration's appetite for destruction is insatiable. You are never going to get on the right side. Because the moment that you capitulate, the moment that they see your weakness, and the moment that they will continue to drive into that wound and that weakness until you cease to exist. Harvard said, we know who we are.
Correct.
We stand for truth.
Correct.
We seek here at this institution to discover truth. And you see, the thing about intellect, true intellect, is not about being omnipotent. It's not about being all-knowing.
Correct.
It is about being curious enough to investigate and unearth certain truths. And then, if your hypothesis about that is proven to be wrong, to know it is okay to change your mind.
Let me change the music for them. Maybe this would be better.
That is the antithesis of this administration and this regime. They believe that they know everything, that there is to know about everything. That there are no mistakes. We are perfect. And we will keep moving forward as such, regardless of the absolute chaos and disaster that they cause. Donald Trump is not a leader. He is a punk.
Oh, Lord.
He is weak, as is all of the people that surround him. Because true strength is being able to admit when you are wrong.
Hello.
Is being able to learn from past mistakes to make situations better, not
Hello.
to just bulldoze over them. I hope that other universities will take Harvard's steps as their own, as a blueprint for how to move forward in this moment. Because you see, folks, I said this earlier today. I did my first Substack live today because Wajahat is traveling and we couldn't do Democracy-ish. So I went over to Substack and I wanted to try out the platform. And I said this earlier today, and that video is up now as well. I said, the thing about this moment, the thing about capitalism, the thing about greed, the thing about America that needs to truly be unlearned is this idea of quote unquote rugged individualism. This idea that any one person's success, that success was created by themselves, for themselves. And that if you don't do those things for yourselves and by yourself, then somehow you are not successful. You see, that was one of the biggest lies that the oligarchs told. Because they know that true power is in the collective. And that if we are unified across class, across race, across ethnicity, across gender, then we will cease being able to be manipulated. Because we will have decided upon our common goal, and our common goal is not to be able to survive in America, but to actually be able to thrive in America. And we all want the same things to survive. Health, happiness, self-determination. The ability to live our lives the way that we want to. The ability to work, but not be worked into the ground.
Hello.
The ability to have our tax dollars pay for quality education and quality health care. This is not a menu that you give to Santa Claus. This is what any civilized, industrialized nation provides for their fucking people.
Hello.
Right.
But somehow we have been fed this entire lie and bullshit about America, rugged individual. Looks, we never take vacation. Look at us. We leave all of our vacation days on the ground. Look at us. We don't need health care. We can afford to pay the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 premiums and still call ourselves exceptional? When we have no maternity leave, no paternity leave, and you can still dictate your life expectancy by your zip code?
Damn.
We have normalized the absolute abnormal. And we have held up individual instances of financial success as if that equates to some type of morality and or genius. Oh, look, because there is a Bill Gates and an Elon Musk and a Jay-Z and a Beyonce and a this person, and they've become millionaires and billionaires, so I'm just one good idea or one fucking scratch off away from that? That's not the goal. But somehow, hyper-consumerism and the backwards thinking of capitalism has us believe that it is, rather than, oh, I don't know, walkable, livable neighborhoods and communities, fresh air, clean water, quality health care, vacations. Somehow they've convinced us that, like, you have to beat yourself to shit to even get that. And then the guilt that you carry for taking, what, a couple of days? We don't actually live here in this country. We barely survive. And yet somehow have, like, turned that into some kind of badge of honor. And have allowed our politicians to continue to feed us this bullshit. And then tell us that when we ask for these things that other industrialized nations want and have, that we're asking for handouts. I'm asking for my money to actually work for me, for us. The fuck are we paying taxes for?
Right.
So Donald Trump can name a plane the F-47?
Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna say this real quick. First of motherfucking all, you ain't gonna make black people feel bad or guilty about shit and say, oh, you want handouts. Bitch, if it wasn't for my fucking ancestors, there would be no America.
Right.
And since you're so big and bad and you know how to do it, take your ass out in the sun for fucking 12 hours and do what the fuck our ancestors did, girl, and do it with no sunscreen. Show us how powerful you are. So at this point, hell yeah. And to your point, T for T, I don't know why the fuck we paying taxes, because taxes are supposed to be voluntary. And if the motherfucking wealthy hoes can't pay for it or don't want to pay for it, why the fuck the people got to pay for it? And they're not paying it. But yeah, we buying all they shit. We using all they shit. They have influence over our lives. Think about it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff under Meta. All this shit is... Okay, who got thoughts? Who want to start first? I guess we can start for T since he came in. What are your thoughts? What's on your mind?
So, here's a question. So when they get rid of the majority of immigrants, just say they got rid of all the immigrants, then they come for the citizens, which they already coming for us, you know, just like what she was talking in there. None of us, they're coming for Harvard. Okay, you're going for the big dogs right there. They've already come for some of our institutions. You know, they're simultaneously knocking everything down one by one. and most of us are just sitting by watching it. But what happens, once they succeed in destroying our institutions, once they succeed in getting rid of the immigrants, once they succeed in getting rid of the Negroes, okay, and once they succeed in and then they're going to come for the whites. They're already coming for them, but then they're going to come for what they consider the poor whites. Then what's left? Okay, are they going to run this country? Do they think that they have what it takes? The ones who are destroying it, the ones who are destroying democracy, do they think that they have what it takes to run this country? What's left after you get rid of everything? Once you get rid of all of us, or put us in camps, or whatever it is you plan on doing with us, what's left? I mean, the racists, the oligarchs. Who's going to do the work? That's the question.
Well, from what I'm thinking, or what I've seen, or just I guess throwing out there, is that that's why you think they love AI so much and want us to interact with AI so much and
Yeah,
all
that's
this
not gonna
robot
work.
type shit. Because again, if we can get the robots to do the shit, and the robots, just like uh Danielle said, the robots they ain't gonna feel guilty for working 24 hours. They don't need to take no days off. They don't need to ask for it. They don't need none of that shit. They'll just do that. So if the robots and AIs end up doing the work that human beings do, then what's going to happen to us? And to your point, I believe they're going to get rid of you. What's the point? What's the purpose of you being here?
Machines
You're not
break down.
contributing to society. So
Machines break down. You're gonna need intelligent people to fix those machines, to constantly stay on top of those machines. You're gonna need the brains. You're gonna need the manpower. It's not gonna be enough of them. It's not
as
gonna be
far as the
enough.
brains part, unfortunately, the motherfuckers that made this shit possible don't have no brain. So I guess
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
so. It's kind of like this. I mean, that's just a hypothetical that could happen. But yes, I do absolutely agree with everything that you said. Um, yes, I think for us as Black people, we need to start putting more of our work and our energy into Blackness. And no shade, I'm not going to feel ashamed by saying Blackness, because we were the prototype for this shit. Our ancestors was the the Black community was the Destiny's Children of America. Okay, and just like Jasmine Garden said in one of the last lives we did, um, that the shackles are no longer on the body; it's on the mind. And the plantation, the field, has just expanded to a more larger radius, and now it's including all of us. Like you said, they're gonna start with certain people that are undesirables because they got to start with somebody to get it going. But to your point, once they end up getting rid of those people, there has to be some evil people, because that's the only way they can feel justified in what they're doing. So imagine these people who are already narcissists, who are already low-key crazy, who are going to start saying, oh, well, this person's going to be against me and I can't trust anybody. Look at motherfucking Kim Jong-un, big roly-poly ass. Look at him. There'll be people over there in North Korea who be crying. They be crying for real, because if they don't cry right, or ain't no tears coming out, your ass is going to the camp, and you're probably going to die there.
Yeah, they're slaves.
And this
over there.
individual met with him, so it's kind of like you doing all the shit this motherfucker did. Go ahead.
That's kind of what they want to take us to. They want to take us over there because those they're in the field over there.
Not Cyberpunk 2077, boss man.
They're
the higher
over
class
there
of people
in
will
the
merge.
field. They're over there oppressed and working under that oppressive regime, the government over there, and they are in the fields. And that's technically they don't want to get rid of us. They know they really can't get rid of us, because. But what they want to do is they want to take us back to what you just said a little while ago, into the shackles. It's a different type of shackles. We won't be running around with chains on our feet, but the control, the control that they want to have over us, the tightness they want, the grip they want to put around our necks, to control us. Where we are down there by the curve, and we are subservient to them again. And it's not all of them, but the majority of those so-called higher ups, the oligarchs, the ones who want to control the country, and they want to keep us under control. These white supremacists and stuff. That's what a lot of that is about. It's about to control us, so we're subservient to them again, because we've gotten out of hand. Society has gotten out of hand. And the blacks and the Mexicans and stuff, they have what we have now, and we don't want them to have that. And so what we're going to do, we're going to simultaneously take away, just like what they're doing, with our universities. They're doing it with our museums. They're taking funding away from the HBCUs. They are stripping the schools, the public schools, of just what little they already have. They're taking that away. And then when they take away the education and they dumb us down, which makes America weaker, and it makes us vulnerable for attack. But when they take all of that away, then they're sitting up here. So then we have to beg them. We have to ask and beg them for the crumbs that they're going to throw us. Just like with narcissism, the breadcrumbs they're going to throw us, and then we'll be like, oh, they gave us something. Oh, what a wonderful government we have, So we'll end up like North Korea. We'll end up like Russia, where they vote, but nothing ever comes from it. Putin stays in power. North Korea, constantly that family stays in power no matter what. And we're already getting there. So, and Danielle said she's exactly right, but they're slowly chipping away. It ain't even slowly. It's in these last few months, it's been pretty fast. They're slowly chipping away at, everything that Americans value.
Correct. Every American value.
So we can become subservient to them again. Fuck 1940, fuck 1930. They're basically want to get us back to, how we were in slavery. Only thing this time we won't have change or, whatever. They're going to oppress us through with money and, and all that type of stuff, so they can stay in power, and they'll yield that power over us.
And most importantly, fear. Because when you look at the slaves,
Right.
we're gonna get Deshaun and then Queen Stevie. I want to get her. But like with slavery, again, we came over in the chains, but they beat us in the head mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like you said, is that redeeming quality of, well, that's the only thing that you are for a slave is to obey your earthly master. So I find purpose in this. That's why they call it the master. But once we got to the plantation and we was beat again in those places, they didn't have fences around the plantation, but you knew where that fence line was. And you knew what happened to your ass if you stepped over or crossed that imaginary fence. That imaginary fence. Imagine your captor beating into you so bad, beating shit into you and fear into you so bad, so much, to where you literally see an invisible fence. And they also show you what happened to those individuals who go over that invisible fence in the horrible, tragic ways. So all this is a rebrand. And if they've been doing the rebrand and they gave us the playbook and we still ain't doing our part, we can't complain about the shit happening again, especially when they tell you what they're doing. But Deshaun, what are your thoughts? First of all, are you out the shower yet?
Oh, I've been out the shower.
I just want to make sure, because I swear to God, if I were to hear them raindrops falling. Like, girl, well, at least you clean, so that's good. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts on video?
Yeah, I agree with her and everything else. And yeah, this guy is absolutely insane. Now he's trying to control Harvard. Really?
Yes,
Actually, he's
Harvard.
going to control all the schools. Actually, that's what's going to happen. But the schools are trying to fight back because you know it's so funny that you played it because one of the Hulu sisters actually predicted that Hulu sister, whatever her name is, and she said that she used the cards and she said, "Oh, Donald Trump is going to actually be taking control of the system, but teachers are going to fight back. They're not going to allow it. They're going to fight. They're going to fight like." When they're out in the
My
club, I ain't
man,
never scared.
he gonna
I
fight
ain't
you
never
bitches, cause see, my man, he ain't gonna be no punk ass bitch. He gonna whoop your ass, bitch, cause see, my man. He said he loved Trump. To see, my man love Trump. My man.
How are we gonna fight?
Oh my gosh, those teachers are going to fight. When it comes to their education, oh, they're not going to lose that. No, you're not going to just dismantle them or dismantle
Hell yeah, especially since they got to
the
deal
board
with
of
your.
education.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but again, if y'all want to interact, if y'all want to interject, please do, because again, it's a
Oh
conversation. So
yes.
but yes, but hell yeah, they gonna fight for the kids because again, they around your kids more than they around y'all, and some of them
Mhm.
kids be in such a safe space to where they start telling what the fuck be happening at the house. So yes,
Yeah.
they're gonna fight for them damn kids and be glad that there are teachers, especially in these black schools, in these low income areas of the hood, if you will. Be grateful that there are teachers that actually care about the children as opposed to just collecting a fucking check. Cause a lot of them kids be having problems and issues, and they be bringing it to the schoolhouse. Where does it start? Didn't y'all say that everything starts in the fucking home?
Mhm.
So why ain't y'all do deals as a fucking parent? Y'all want everybody else to raise your child except you. How about you do it? Because I didn't sit down and fucking again.
Be-
I'm a gay person. You told us that we can't have kids, so that's your responsibility.
well, that's because
That's a lot.
they try to teach
I know it's
their
a lot, but
children
that's what they say. I'm just
narcissism.
talking in their language.
Because the thing is, when they become the bully, and then when the bully gets killed, then the parents will be like, "Oh, my son. Well, why didn't you teach your son anything? But if your son was something else, you wouldn't like that, and you would beat him up and do whatever in the household, and then he comes to the school and bully and all that other bullshit to make you proud and stuff like that." That's what it is. It's all narcissism. It's all confusion. It's all making this kid not, all confused and stuff like that to the point where he's gonna explode, and that's what it is. Oh, did you hear about because I was on Conscious TV. Did you
Shout out
hear
to him.
about the
Kang.
that white kid that was killed by the black dude? I forgot his name.
The one that
Hub.
was stabbed.
The one who was
Yeah.
stabbed, yeah.
Yeah.
And that white kid was all up in his face just because he wouldn't leave the tent. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And that kid actually deserved it. Because the thing is, you had to prove something to your boys because the boys actually hyped it up. I guess he was embarrassed, so he had to prove something just to freaking start picking on that boy, that black boy, and stuff like that. And he was minding his own business.
That was here in Texas, right? Up in Frisco, right? Wasn't that
I
in Texas?
believe so.
In
I don't know.
Frisco? I think that was in Frisco, Texas. That ain't too far from me.
But I'm not surprised that, and we're gonna get Queen after this. I'm not surprised that he responded in that way, that white boy, because again, y'all sitting here talking about, oh well, well, what happened to him was so horrible, but yet how many videos have you seen of white people walking up on black people? What y'all doing here? What's up? Who are you? Who are you? Are you live here? He was just doing what his mommy and daddy and the people in the neighborhood do. He used his privilege. Now I can understand him coming through and starting an altercation if the black guy was in there doing some shit he wasn't supposed to do. He was being told multiple times to leave by the people. He was just making them uncomfortable and said, man, fuck y'all. And then somebody decided to stand up. But to see TV's point, why didn't you go get an adult? to be able to come in and take this person out, somebody with authority.
Exactly.
But that is the thing that I want people to understand as well, to your point. When it comes down to your children, unfortunately, especially if they're ignorant like their parents and queerphobic and racist, they project that onto other people in their pool as far as the school is concerned. And there are some people who, yes, become depressed and unfortunately self-eject out of this reality. And then when that happens to that person, there are horrible comments underneath the posts of these people. And again, these are people that go to school with your children. But then y'all feel some type of way when you at work and your phone blowing the fuck up and you answer it and somebody is just screaming in the other end saying, so-and-so school, there's a shooting, and God forbid your child got hit. And then no shade, y'all want to blame guns for it, which, yes, why do we have all these fully automatic and semi-automatic shit? What do you need all this shit for? I think that should definitely be regulated. But if somebody wants to harm you and hurt you, they're going to use whatever means necessary. Over there, I think in London, they don't really use guns. They starve people. They run up on people and shank the fuck out of them. That's very intimate. So if somebody wants to get to your child, they're going to find a way to get to your child. So instead of these school shootings continuing to happen, how about you teach your children to learn how to treat people with honor and respect? Because if you look at what happened with the Columbine High School shooting that happened years ago, there was a survivor there that was in the library, which was said to be the most gruesome part of that massacre that happened.
Yeah.
And you know how that individual was able to survive the encounter? Even though so many people around him perished, and that's forever etched and burned into his fucking mind. He told those people that, I don't know if it was Eric or Dylan, one of them, but they put the gun to his head, and one of the other guys said, "No, don't harm him. He was nice to me."
Yeah.
Now get out of here before I change my mind. You see how him just being nice, and that could just be a simple, "Hey, how you doing?" That could be a simple acknowledgement. I'm not saying the motherfucker got to come to the house every motherfucking night for dinner. I'm not saying they got to be all buddy like that. But you can at least stand up for people who are being bullied. Because if you do that and God forbid something happens, maybe you'll be able to survive the encounter because you did the one thing that the other people were afraid to do, which is to love. So again, there's no way around this shit. This is a community issue. This is a humanity issue. And we need to come together to be able to work this shit the fuck out. Because queerphobia affects everybody. Racism affects everybody. Femphobia affects everybody. And we all in this together, whether y'all want to realize it or not. And it's going to be really fucked up for the people who realize when it's too late, because now you ain't going to have no grace. You ain't going to have no mercy. You ain't going to be able to be out there learning to do new goddamn line dances and shit. Because your or whatever. Queen Stevie. Queen. First of all, thank you so much for being here, Queen. I appreciate you and your experience and what you've been educating me with. Because again, I'm learning about the spectrum of queerness. I don't know everything. I'm still trying to learn shit about the gay shit. Okay? But Queen Stevie, if you're still there, what are your thoughts? And no shade, around this time, Queen be knocked the hell out. Let me see if I can wake her up. Hold on. Queen, where you at? Queen Stevie.
She'll be back on at 2 in the morning.
Yes. Sometimes her audio. Her audio kind of messes up sometimes. So, Queen, if you can hear me, drop and then come back, because I definitely want to get your perspective. No shade. Let me look at the comments real quick. Go ahead.
I'll say this about the reality of black folks when it comes to white folks. Black folks do not mess with white folks. You know, the only time we'll mess with them usually is when we are defending ourselves from when they have attacked us or said something to us. We don't usually just go and attack a white person. You know, we mind our business when it comes to them mainly, unless that they come for us. When they come for us, then we defend ourselves. We don't just usually go after white people like that. Now they like to put that out there that that we do, but we're not those type of people. We're not those type of people. We just going to go and attack them. We don't just do that. Now sometimes we may attack our damn self, but and with that type of shit, but we don't just go after them. So that's a fallacy. Just with that guy, he was defending himself because that white guy done rolled up on him. And we don't just usually roll up on white people like that. We usually just keep our distance and mind our business with them.
They roll up on us.
Real, and they roll up on us. Well, but when you roll up on us, we are going to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's whatever means necessary.
Yeah, and sometimes even with defending ourselves, that's the part where I think us as black people, we kind of get stuck at because unfortunately we know what the reality is, especially with us being black. That if we were to stand up, look at what's happening right now with what y'all just mentioned about the case. This black dude and this white dude. So again, and to your point, we need to really have more in-house conversations about healing the black experience. Yes, racism is going to always be there. It's been there for 400 plus years. Hello. Of course it's going to be there. They're not doing their part. So until they do their part, it's going to always be here. But that shit has now trickled down into our community to where, to your point, we won't go out there and harm white people, but we'll harm each other and harm each other over the dumbest shit, the stupidest shit. A nigga made a song about you. A nigga looked at you and you thought that he was grimming you or some shit. A nigga stepped on your shoes. A nigga flossing too much money. A nigga driving too nice of a car. A nigga getting a female that you want. In some cases, a nigga getting a nigga that you want. It's 2025. You get what I'm saying? Just all these type of things. And it's not just the individuals who are in that spat or dispute with each other that get affected. It be motherfuckers around them and sometimes people that's not even part of the process. So again, for these places, these black hotel trap foot ass niggas who went to prison, girl, has a fucked up situation, and now they then went and got a dashiki from Temu, bitch, before the tariffs and shit. So they got a few of them, and now they done read a few different books and follow Umar Johnson and shit. And now they have the ability to say that the black community is being destroyed by the homosexuals. Meanwhile, again, I live in the motherfucking hood, bitch. Like I say, there are not faggots on the corner, girl, twerking, throwing ass, girl, to motherfucking Saucy Santana, bitch. Shake that, bitch, spouse them titties. I'm looking. They're not doing it on the corner. Boom, nigga. They're not shooting, girl. They're not motherfucking.
Boom, nigga. Yes, nigga. Boom, nigga. We gonna kill you, girl. Yes, girl. Oh, girl. We're not, girl. Okay, change the voice.
We're not doing, queer people are not doing that. But guess who are the individuals that's out there destroying the community? And it pisses me off because it shows how weak and lazy a lot of these niggas are, girl. Y'all can't take care of your own responsibilities. So now you want to pick on somebody else. And no shade. That's why I think I'm very attracted to more men with feminine energy, because for you to be a man and be feminine and not give a fuck, that's a level of confidence and security that I strive for as an individual, as a human being. That's why I don't fuck with DL niggas. No, I don't fuck with that shit because a lot of times they are weak ass niggas.
Well,
they just the closeted gays.
DL men, quiet as it's kept, a lot of the DL men are attracted to feminine energy too in gay men and in trans. So that's why a lot of them go after the trans.
But they're not willing to walk in their truth, and that's the part. My thing is, if you gonna fuck with a DL nigga, fuck with another DL nigga. Y'all both understand the terms and conditions. Y'all both got things to lose. Why would you fuck with somebody who knows who they are? Especially if the shit is good, you gonna fuck around and you gonna fuck up your own situation, your own spot. It's just, there are ways to make, just like she said, there are things that can be very simple, but we just complicate the fuck out of it because we just don't fucking know. And it's okay to say that you don't fucking know. I don't know everything. That's why I'm willing to listen to other people who do their fucking research. That's why I'm willing to be open-minded. And trust me, yes, I know what it's like to defend your ego down, girl. I know what it's like to defend your position down, bitch, to what it's like Mortal Kombat, girl. But you gonna fuck around and manifest people like I did, girl. Dope ass motherfucking spiritual teacher that no matter what my ego said, girl, it was like he was Pi May, bitch, just blocking and taking things and fucking shit up and fuck. But I had to learn how to whoop my own ass and get myself together so that I can
Oh.
master myself.
Mm.
But that, Sean, you just got
No.
out the shop.
Sean's
No. I was just saying.
I'm just playing. I'm just trolling you. I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling. Y'all, it's the weed. This is what I realized. I have to make this entertaining because if you just talk about the facts, unfortunately, I'm realizing some people are so used to drama in their life, or shall I say, they're used to being distracted from the drama in their life, which is why they love the mess. But then when you have people like us who try to put that information out there, I try my best to also include laughter and all that type of shit. And motherfuckers can say it's corny or not, but you be watching. So obviously the corny energy works. And again, with Bubz the God, girl, whoever I tag, girl, they watch. I came into this whole universe sacrificing my height. And especially knowing that I'm going to be a black gay man too and short. Damn. But I guess big things come in small packages. You can take that however you want to. And there's plenty of ways to take that as well. Let your mind run wild.
As
Sean,
Dragon
be
Ball Z-
quiet. Shut it up. Shut it up. I'm just playing. But let's get to some of the comments real quick. We gotta. Okay, cool. I'm like, what's going on? Let me see. Keon says they couldn't keep up with the world way back then, which is why they dragged us here in the first place. Girl, where are the Assassin's Creed at, bitch? Where is motherfucking Yusuke and all them niggas, all Tyre? Where y'all at, girl? Where is the niggas with the white cloaks that actually take care of the shit? Not the other ones, girl, but these ones. Where is the Academy at or something? Keon says, we'll throw y'all a bone on the front end if y'all just ignore all the other fine print that comes with it. No.
Mm.
First of all, why the fuck you giving me a bone? Now, if I was to find a way to break this bone and turn it to a sharp object and proceed to become Jason Voorhees in this bitch, I bet you be mad about throwing bones, bitch. And then we can throw your bones against the motherfucking wall, bitch, and let's see what the spirit says. Bitch. Now let's see what Juilliard has to say while we're at it. Juilliard, and no shade. After high school, I auditioned for this school called AMDA. I think it's called American Musical Dramatic Academy, or something along the lines of that. But it was like the competitor to Juilliard because I love acting is my passion, for real. Like, there are some things that I can't wait to show y'all, but I'm waiting to certain things kind of get into place for me. But I wanted to go to Juilliard. So we'll see what Juilliard has to say. You know what I'm saying? Those schools, performance schools at that. And no shade, Juilliard and AMDA gonna have the faggots, girl. They're gonna be there. Okay, the homosexuals gonna be all up and through there, girl. I'm just saying, that's a place with creative people, and a lot of creative people do happen to be queer. I'm just gonna be honest. Let me see. Keon also says, and again, if y'all have anything that y'all would like to share, go ahead and interject if you need to. Mikasa Sukasa, okay? Keon says she's validating so much right now. I've always thought I was the crazy one. So easy to call us lazy for daring to think that 40 plus hours work week is BS. Yes. That's why I'm aspiring to find a way to turn my gifts and talents in a way. I'm finding a way to transmute opportunities that benefit my gifts and talents to where I can do what I love. One thing my father told me, he said, no shade. It's just what he told me. So please don't nobody feel hit, girl. No shade, because we do need people that participate in society to keep it going in certain ways. But he told me, he said, son, if you can, do not try to be like me and your mom and get a job. Just over broke. Don't do that. Don't do that. Find something that you love to do. And the more that I tap into my spiritual energy, the more that I heal my inner child, the more that I become more aware of my emotions, I'm literally seeing opportunities work out in my favor. When these past few years, I was struggling like a motherfucker, depressed like a motherfucker, girl, hoping that things will work out. And now things are starting to work out. I'm meeting new people. People are connecting with me. I'm collaborating. I've upgraded my equipment. Like there are things like when you walk by faith for real, which means that I'm gonna go through the darkness. I'm gonna go through the valley. I'm gonna go through this shit. That's why I do my commentary on things that are fear based, just like the ex-gay shit is fear based. We have to work through this stuff, and America is having a big ass fucking ego death. And if you do your research about individuals that don't want to work 40 plus hours to the bone, there's been plenty of people throughout history where you can read the news headlines where it says people are not working or they don't want to work because they realize what the fuck going on. 2020 happened and all those companies, Amazon, all of them, what did they do? Buy up all of the land, buy up all these big spaces, put a lot of mom-popping individuals who have hopes and dreams. Just like how she stated, some of y'all believe that y'all gonna scratch lottery tickets and shit like that to make it work. There are some people who were actually on the way to some shit, and now 2020 happened and fucked up their business. And guess who came and claimed all that shit? And now you gotta work for them, and they can work you to the fucking bone. Why do you think Amazon and all these companies are on strike? And they want more. Y'all treating them like they fucking crackheads. Want to do a $100 job for $10? I'll do it. No. And then get to a point that where when there are people who do work those hours, just like she said, they wear it as a badge of honor. Well, shit, you're not a real man unless you only get 4 hours of sleep and you got to get up and work fucking 16 hours and come home and do all that shit. Yeah, you are what a real man says, but you a real man who ain't gonna live real long because you gonna manifest real illness and die for real. Because you overworked, my nigga. That's why community is important. See, when you have community, whatever I'm lacking in, if someone else is strong in that area, they can contribute, and I can do a vice versa for them. Everybody on this platform has strengths and weaknesses. We all can benefit each other to where it's even across the board. But you got motherfuckers in positions of power now who don't want to play fair. They're used to the word no being removed from their vocabulary. And to those people, I'm looking at you in the camera, I'm so sorry. God, source, universe, consciousness, karma is coming through like an angry black woman. And I'm talking about like Respucia. And she gonna fuck everything up. There's nothing you can do to escape this. And even those at the top, they gonna have their day too. It's called death. Death humble a lot of bitches. Hell, some motherfuckers gonna think death gonna humble me. Because again, us speaking our truth like this and standing 10 toes down, it's putting our lives on the line. And I want to be wrong about that. I so want to be wrong about that. But when you look at history, look what that repeats. Those of us that want to make things better, what happens? They're always taken out. And let's bring it down to the community level. Let's not just talk about these prolific leaders like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who unfortunately lost their lives. But again, the community level, the Black Panthers, who ended up being the need that the community voted for the politicians to do. And when they did it, when they made sure children had hot fucking breakfast and lunch to take to school and sometimes even dinners, the fact that they were patrolling their neighborhoods with they shit, the fact that when police were out there doing shit to black people, imagine what they was doing when there was no cameras, bitch. Y'all over here arguing about with cameras, ho. Imagine what the fuck happened without the cameras. But they at least were able to make sure that if brother man did some shit, brother man gonna have to do the time. But can brother man get to the jail cell? Can brother man get a lawyer? Can brother man get due process? Oh no, he can't get that. And now as we see, it's not just gonna be niggas, it's gonna be homegrown citizens, bitch. It didn't say what particular one. It said homegrown. All of us are homegrown, correct? So we're all on that thing. And those individuals did the community work, and those people who did that, who led that, were all unalived while they were asleep.
By the
This
government.
is the scary part that we don't want to talk about. And I think that's the reason why black people don't want to do the work, because unfortunately, when you do the work, you end up losing your life. And unfortunately, let's call it ace and a spade since we really here. Motherfucking losing your life for a bunch of niggas who don't give a fuck about you anyway. until it's them.
Mm.
But y'all got the nerve to say that the fags is destroying the black community.
But unfortunately, the society that we live in, we're gonna have to do the work again. We're gonna eventually have to do the work again, just because of the society we live in. Because it's not gonna stop them from coming for us just because, we sit out for a while. 'Cause
Oh
eventually,
yeah.
we're gonna have to eventually. And I hate, shit. I'm tired too. Hell, when you really think about it, it's like, you know, but we that 92% again, we don't it's always kind of left up to us to help save this country, and we're going to have to do it again, just like we
But
did
that I
during
think that's
slavery, just like we did during the Civil War and everything else, because they're going to come for us too. Us sitting out, it's not going to stop it.
but this is the part that I guess I'm conflicted with. Because again, I'm starting to no shade subscribe to a little bit more militant type of things. But
Right.
if we look at history, and we are the ones who throughout the history are spat upon, preyed upon, shat upon, all these different upuns that are not good happens to us. Then when they get in trouble, the only time where they want to listen to people is when it benefits them.
Right.
We can look at the first Civil War between the North and the South. Niggas put their lives on the motherfucking line and were on the forefront and was still treated like shit while saving the fucking country for these motherfuckers. So before the North won, the individual at that time, again, I'm saying this not verbatim, just charge to my head, not my heart. For you fact checkers, check me. But before the war concluded, the general or the person who was in charge of the army at the time asked, I guess, someone who was representing the delegate of Negro soldiers, what do y'all want for this? And told them, all we want is our freedom and the ability to be able to do our own shit. That's it. We don't want to kill y'all. We're not asking y'all to give us y'all goddamn virgin ass daughters and shit. We're not asking for any of that shit. All we want is for this to be over with and allow us to be free and do our own shit. That's always been the case for black people. We don't want to be a part of this system because this system keeps rejecting us. And it's found a way to play on our emotions, to capitalize on that, to where we are dependent on them. And even the things that black people do use to help make things easier for them, it wasn't even created for us. It was created for white people. So to me, it's kind of like, I'm sorry, there gets to a point to where I done saved you so many times. There's gonna be a time where I'm gonna just say no. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You keep crying wolf, and everybody coming. You're laughing. The first time, oh, they so funny. Second time, oh, it's so funny. Oh my God. Now the third time come and fuck a wolf. It's a pack of wolves. And now you calling for help. And now you fucked up. That's just how the universe works sometimes. Especially when you have all this time and all this information to be able to figure shit out. And you still ain't got it. After all these years, you got a smartphone in your hand and you still choosing not to be smart.
Right.
Damn.
Right. All that wealth of information out there, and we still choose, we still choose ignorance. We still choose not to read and learn, investigate, research. We want everything spoon fed to you on a spoon and then tell you everything instead of doing the work and researching yourself to find out what the truth is.
Yes.
And then when we don't do that, we end up like this, voting for like we said, we didn't vote for that, but those ones out there, voted for us. It affects us all now.
It does.
I'm not gonna sit up here.
Because
I'm
of
sorry.
because of their lack of ignorance and not wanting to research and learn the truth and then they also don't want to hear about history. If they would have just paid attention to what went on in history, we could have avoided some of this, because we were walking towards this for quite a while now, and us choosing to not, not care about or not want to hear about history. Oh, I'm tired of hearing about the slaves. I'm tired of this. I don't want to hear about the Holocaust. I don't want and now we're walking right back into it. It might not be the same, but it's a version of it.
And no shade, I'm tired of motherfucking talking about. And Deshaun, if you want to jump in, go ahead. Like, you can jump in whenever you want to, and I'll be quiet. But I'm sorry. I'm in the conversation. I'm in the flow. So, Lord, I'm about to lose my thought. I hate when that fucking happens. What's the last thing you said, T?
What's up, boss man?
What's the last thing you said?
What did I say?
Yeah.
I said we're walking right back into
Oh yes, that's what it was.
Our ignorance.
I'm sorry.
Choice
the
to
slavery
be
thing.
And not. We don't want to hear about our history. We don't care about the history. And a lot of people, not just black people, not just black children, and our kids are in school, but a lot of people in America now don't want to know that history, and they don't care to learn that history. And we're walking right back into it. Not exactly the same as the Holocaust or as slavery or that type of oppression, but we're still walking towards that oppression. We're putting ourselves back into that in a different way, but we're going back that way.
Yes, and thank you for saying that, because I wanted to get to my point. But the point is the fact that when it comes down to what you're saying, as far as let's not talk about slavery anymore. I want to get to that point too. I'm tired of having conversations about slavery. I'm talking about watching slave movies. And girl, if we're gonna watch some slave movies, can we make it a black exploitation, girl, where they take the motherfucking oppressors out or something, girl? Can we get a motherfucking horror story, girl, where them motherfuckers are afraid and not us? Do you get what I'm saying? And stay tuned to Bubz the God, because that's the type of shit I want to create. But no shade, like, black people want to be better. I want to be better. But the problem is they don't want black people to be better, because no shade, they're just going to be better. And the reason why black people are going to be better is because that's like somebody being jealous of your skills and talents and using their power to keep you down and trying to break you down, but it doesn't work. All it does is makes you even better, so that when they finally have the freedom, girl, they're going to be able to make it. But like I said, back then with the slaves, when they fought in the first Civil War and all they asked was just freedom and their own shit, they couldn't get it. Or for the ones that did have it, they didn't have it for long. So again, we have to also learn to protect whatever we're going to create. And I mean, attack it like a wild animal. All that 400 years of energy and anger and shit, ancestral rage that's within all of us, we have to reserve that for the time of defense. Because if we have to go back and we have to help them again, and we have to help save the country, why do we keep saving the country who that once we do that, they tell us to get back in fucking formation? When we keep saving it, when they can't save it, when they ignorantly vote against their own interests trying to get rid of us, meanwhile, we're the ones that keep surviving in this shit. But go ahead, Deshaun, yes.
I got a question. So, you know how white people say go back to Africa? So why didn't Donald Trump just took all of us back to Africa then, and just have an all white America? It would have been better, since you want to say all that and you want to bring back segregation. So why not just kick us all out of the land so that all you white people can just thrive right there? You don't even have to kill us; just throw us right over to the other land.
But I don't
make
think
it easier for them, right?
That shade. Let's go with that analogy. Let's go with that. Let's say all people who aren't white were sent back to their countries, or hell, the way these motherfuckers talking, girl, they're gonna send you to El Salvador, girl. It's gonna be some other shit, girl.
El Salvador.
So they gonna send you there, girl. They gonna send you wherever. With the plebes and all of them, girl. Hola, mi nombre es Brandon. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be all that. But here's the thing, though. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Vida,
Hold on.
vida. I
Hold
will
on,
go.
girl. Yeah, because they gonna send you to either, let's say they take us to our own country, or take us to another country in El Salvador. I like that run. I like that run. But imagine that happens and all of us are taken out and it's just white America. They would be so fucked. Because let's be real. Yeah, black people, we hurt our own. You know, we'll fuck up other niggas. That's what we do because we can't get to white people, so we'll hurt them. You know, we'll hurt ourselves. But imagine not hurting just people in your country, but all around the world. Imagine also harming your own people. So, girl, if America was just a complete white nation, they would, no shade. I think if that's where they're going, no wonder they want to be isolated because they know the rest of the world don't fuck with them. So at this point, maybe them sending us away could possibly be a blessing in disguise.
But then they're gonna eat their own. Once we're all gone, if they're only thing that's left is them. Okay, then they're gonna.
But it's not just gonna be, yeah, but it's gonna be just them. But we gotta also not just think about us. There are other countries that don't fuck with us because of what we done.
Mm.
And what we're doing.
And what we're doing. Don't fuck with us as Americans. Don't fuck with us. Like, for example, all those movies, London has fallen, Olympus has fallen, all that type of shit. Dope ass action movies. Mm-hmm. But in the recent years, especially when we smoking weed, when I be watching these movies, especially those, I be like, not the whole movie is about trying to protect America, girl, and save America when they started shit first.
Yeah, they're the ones that start shit first.
Y'all start shit first, and that's what I mean by the bully mentality. That's what they have. They Debo. Let me get the voice. Hold on. Let me find a voice.
No, this ain't it, girl. This a gay voice. Hold on.
This the male. Yeah, this the one. This the one. This the one. This my bike, punk. Give me that chain, nigga. I'm Debo, nigga. This is the rematch, nigga.
They trying to be Debo on the shit. Yeah. They trying to Debo your shit. My grandmama gave me that chain. That's what. No. Where are the matter of fact? And even in the movie, wasn't it a black woman that stood up to him? Didn't she sit there and say,
all these other niggas might be scared of you, but I'm not. Didn't she say that?
And what'd he do? He slapped the shit out of her ass. Hold on. What'd he say? He said,
and all these other niggas might be scared of you, but I'm not.
Listen,
shut up, bitch.
I'm not gonna lie, but Canada Long, whatever what's her name? Long, what is her first name?
I don't know, but she was talking back to me. I had to let that bitch know.
You had to let that bitch know? You had to let that bitch know.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm Debo right now. I had to slap that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But what happened?
Wow.
Deshaun. I feel the spirit of Mufasa over me. Deshaun. I need for you to go downstairs and put ice in your pants to cool it off. You are sounding like a lioness in heat.
He has to hop back in that cold shower.
Yes, take a cold shower, Simba. See, Simba. Cause see, my man, I'm gay tonight. See, my man, you'll never find. Blum, 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 blum.
okay, let me stop getting crazy. Keon said, those warehouses is just a new age slavery for real. No shade. As a former employee for at least 2 of those big companies, trust what I'm saying. That's why the turnout rates be so abysmal. And yes, that is what the fuck happens. Yes, I told you they want us to all be slaves. We as black people, we the originators of this shit. We are the prototype of this shit. And y'all don't want to listen to the prototype.
Yeah.
But y'all about to learn y'all about to find out if you can survive like the prototype, bitch. Because the one thing about black people, we know how to survive, bitch. Auntie Fee was making goddamn gourmet meals for motherfuckers off of $15 from Dollar Tree, bitch. How you finna do that?
Right.
Yeah, right, Keon. Those warehouses aren't being made just for the immigrants. Okay, they are just not being made for the immigrants, because once they
But
put the immigrants in the warehouse and then they get them all shipped out over to back to their respective
Good night, Queen.
countries. Okay, who they gonna put in them warehouses? Okay,
but listen, I've been said this. I said slavery was. I've been said. Even I said it in my mind because I was so angry because I was so stressed out in that warehouse because something didn't go together the way I wanted to, or I wanted to have better ideas to improve the warehouse so it can be easier for us. They don't listen to what I'm saying, like such as, if you have employees and I'm the only idea, and then you want me to do this, but then you want me to do that, and you want me to do this at the same time while I'm doing that, and you want me to hurry up and shit like that, and I'm just one person here, and you're not adding in more employees to work in this freaking facility. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And I had to witness that.
And then on top of that, don't even want to pay you.
Experience of it.
Don't even want to pay you for doing multiple jobs. You can at least pay a motherfucker more.
More.
Maybe the problem y'all want us to do this again for crackhead prices.
It's absolutely freaking crazy. And then on top of that, it's like you're not bringing in employers, bringing in people who wants to work here. You're actually hiring people that's assholes in here that disrespects me and all that other bullshit, instead of having people that want to work to be in the facility. That don't even make any sense. And then also you got people that talk too fucking much while I'm working. It's ridiculous.
That's why Deshaun need his own channel. We need to get him his own streaming, girl, so he can be up here.
Like, do your fucking work.
All right, do your work. Beat the girl jobs.
It is.
Girl, you're not paying the girls on the job.
It's annoying. I'm dealing with annoying ass people every single day up in this bitch. I just need my peace. That's it. All I want to do is do my freaking work. But then they don't want to hire people that just chill. They don't hire the chill ones.
Let me tell you something. And I understand your pain. I used to work at this place called K&G. It's a suit store. Okay? Baby, when I first started working there, I was afraid of the higher ups, baby. Every time they would come in and shit, we got to learn different saying. What does this saying mean? What did this acronym mean? And I remember it was this old white lady I was working with.
Oh my
And she
God.
was an old Jewish white lady. And they asked her something, and she said, I don't give a fuck what the acronym is. I sell suits and get the money made. I don't care about that. But after a while, seeing how these people treat people, like, whenever the big wigs would come in, girl, it was it was always a problem with something. There's always something going on. And this motherfucker, I'm not gonna say his name, girl, but this big back Buick Tonka truck got his own stratosphere around his damn 8 navels, bitch. Because if you gotta be that big, girl, you ain't just got one girl, quadruple titty girl, just some sort of Resident Evil 4 T-virus mutation motherfucker, girl, would come in. And at the time, when I was working at the store, the managers were all females, and they ran the store smoothly. They did what the fuck they had to do. It was all women, especially women of color. The store manager was a black woman, but he would come in. He would probe her brain and the manager's brains for ideas, and then he would present it to his constituents or whoever it is he got to present it to, and he would get the recognition for it because he was a man. I did not have respect for that motherfucker, and I don't have respect for motherfuckers like that. That is a DEI hire. And one thing I remember one time that pissed me off, and I'm gonna let y'all go, I'm sorry, but that I remember is that there was a woman that I worked with at my job at the time. We called her Champagne because she was this older black lady. She was heavy set. She was very, very bubbly and nice, but was queer phobic as fuck. But somehow she loved me. I think she knew I was gay, but she never judged me. Even though she tried to hook me up with some women and shit, I'm like, why? See, y'all be talking about, well, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're gay. Y'all be being petty and be trying to hook gay niggas up with bitches.
That's
Like
what
it's gonna work.
that's what I don't understand, and I'm lost.
That is crazy.
You
So-
talk all that shit about gay
Yep.
people, but you want gay dick.
The fuck? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But what happened is that I remember that the regional manager at the time, that's who I'm talking about, the fucking asshole higher up dude or whatever. His daughter was in a cheerleading competition. I mean, yeah, she was trying to go to a cheerleading competition and she had to sell candy bars or whatever to make the money. Now, no shade. No shade. I saw what his daughter looked like. I hope she at the base of the mountain, because if they throw her ass up, girl, it's going to be World War 12. Fuck 3. So what happened is that this woman would sit here and at the register, when you're only supposed to be selling stuff that are part of the brand, part of the store, part of what we're selling here legally, here it is, the regional manager has this woman selling chocolate for the bars for the regional manager's daughter to go to cheer camp. Well, guess what? That woman Champagne unfortunately passed away. And I ended up going to her funeral, which I had to work later on that day. And the regional manager was there for fucking 10 minutes, then got up and left.
Huh. Wow.
My store manager at the time was asked to speak for our store, but she was so overwhelmed with emotions. So guess who had to speak on behalf of my store location? Me.
Mm.
This hog mog eating bitch had benefited from this woman, and you can't even speak at her funeral, nigga, to give your respects for all that she's done for you and your family while doing shit that's illegal in the motherfucking store, because you ain't supposed to be selling shit like that in the store any fucking way, because that's against company policy, correct? But somehow you got the loophole though, and she was able to sell it for him and his daughter because she's very charming. So when it come down to these fucked out ass niggas, girl, that's in positions of power, fuck y'all. Don't give a fuck. The worst that y'all can do to a nigga is unalive one. And like I told y'all, I'm learning more and more about the spirit realm. You might not want Bubz the God in the spirit realm, bitch. Because I will show you hoes what the gay agenda really look like. I already told y'all will be sleeping with John 3:16 scripture in your ass crack, bitch. And like I said, it won't be for pleasure, girl. I'm taunting you. This is a poltergeist. Make sure all the TVs are off in the house, bitch.
I'll just have Papa Candela to jump into a person to have them their one biggest enemy, where if something happens, like if they have a stroke or something, or they're paralysis and stuff like that, that they'll make their lives a living hell by using the Papa Candela.
Leave people alone because you don't know what they know. That's it. That's why I respect everybody. Until you give me a reason not to respect you. And it takes a lot for me to not respect you, because I'm an empathic person. So I feel for people. And I also need to balance out the spirit of people pleasing in my own life, because I don't like letting people down. But sometimes, goddamn it, I got to make sure I'm good before I can be good for anybody. So yes, leave certain people the fuck alone, unless you want to fuck around and find out. And when you find out, girl, the Bible ain't gonna protect the booty hole, bitch. Harold says T for T. You're actually on the ground putting feet to the pavement, so my hat, and mine as well, is off to you especially. I totally get the frustration from those who are actually doing the work and not just talking shit online. So again, that's why I appreciate T for T being here, because he brings a different perspective of it. And my thing is, like I said, if we gonna march and stuff, we need to start adding some music in that shit. We need to start playing, like I said, Change, the song I played in the beginning. Put that shit on repeat.
Exactly.
We need to start having some African drums and some spiritual music out there, girl, and maybe speak some shit into the atmosphere. Because again, we're being met with riot gear. Like, I don't understand what people don't get. Your life is being threatened. Your democracy is being threatened. Your freedom is being threatened in front of your fucking face.
Yep.
And I want to be wrong. I keep saying that. If I'm wrong, I will delete everything on this channel, start a new one, bitch, and I will read Bible verses, girl. I will become ex-gay. I'll be gay. I ain't just gonna fuck. And I'm kind of doing that right now, so it won't be a difference to me, because I'm still gonna be the motherfucking ratchet ass sinner who jacking off at night. So I'm still gonna do that to get my release. But I will do all. I will play the game with y'all if y'all can prove that to be the case. Girl, I don't know why I'm saying it because that's too much to ask for some people. Hero said Google is the information highway, and as much as folks scroll and or pick on the book or peck the book of faces every single day, they won't even tap a search engine to learn anything for themselves. And then when they do, and they do lives about it on certain platforms, then nobody wants to come into the building. Nobody has nothing to say. They want to be on people's asses, girl, until they want to be on their ass. Now it's pause. So it's just very interesting, girl. But again, we're finding out. MK John, what's going on? I don't know if you're still here, but I'm glad that you're enjoying the live. Okay? And the person you talked about, Deshaun, was Nia Long. That was the person you was talking about in reference to the Friday reference. But anything else y'all want to do? Because like, I don't mind shooting the shit. It's up to y'all. I feel like we pretty much said what we had to say. Unless we want to continue the conversation, I'm cool. But I'm just vibing right now. Whatever y'all on.
Yeah, this is all made in the system. Let me tell you the real reason why this is happening the way it is. This is my theory. Allegedly, okay? This is alleged. Yes. Allegedly. Everything is all alleged now. Mm-hmm. But I think the reason why this is set in place is because, to me, all right? For me, everything is connected to Luigi, P. Diddy, and Trump. And the real reason why Trump is president of the United States and he wants to do a third term is because of the tapes that's hidden. Because Luigi and everything, Luigi is the hacker. And remember, Diddy is the whole part of the party where he had those freak off parties and Trump was there. There's a whole real reason why this is happening. I just told you about the elitists getting exposed, the politicians getting exposed. So the real reason why they're doing it is because they're using the media to attack gay people, black people, women, all that, so that they can go in segregation, so that it could be a distraction, so it can be a cause of confused energy, so no one would know. It would throw them off their radar. So Trump is trying to get those videos. That's the reason why he's doing what he's doing. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. Because the real truth is he got those tapes because he was saying things about his daughter. Remember that? So there had to be something going on there. Boom. That's the reason why he's doing what he's doing. The real reason why these mega Trump supporters are doing all this extra shit is because they support him, but they are mentally brainwashed to attack us, to also rewrite history of what white people did to us, so that they can erase everything and put in what they think in their dumbass heads of whatever it is to put in so that the next generation won't know what happened. That's exactly what it is.
Well, Putin's got those P tapes. They might not be actual P tapes, but he got tapes on Trump too. So he's got those P tapes. So it seems like a lot of people got something on Trump.
And I think that's what that is, and the people that follow him as well, in I guess a more energetic standpoint. There are people, again, like I said, who are so used to power and just so drunk in power, and the love of money, which is the root of all evil. It's the love of not money itself, but the love of it, to where again the word no is removed from their vocabulary. Mm-hmm. And if you sat up here and you didn't had all the motherfucking sex you wanted from all the different people that you wanted, you had the money. Imagine having the money. Imagine being a billionaire and being able to do any and everything. Once you start doing what is considered regular or what other people in society are dying to have, of course you're gonna start doing some other wicked, insidious ass shit and pushing the envelope to see what you can and can't get away with. But then what happens is that when those people start getting comfortable in harming other people, eventually you're going to slip up because nobody's perfect. So if big shit come the fuck out, and especially if all this stuff is interconnected, again, using the thought process of Deshaun and what he's sharing with us as far as his perspective, if that is the case, if one important person gets exposed, that exposes another network of people that the people it would
Right.
expose the web. It would expose the connection. It's like Assassin's Creed. It would expose the order, bitch. All the people who doing this shit, all the motherfuckers in positions of power that got masks and shit doing shit, girl. Have we not forgot about the movie Eyes Wide Shut? And that motherfucker who made that shit died, I think, a week or so before the movie came out. So it's like the information comes out, and if we the people, because that's what I want us to remember, they can't do shit without us. That's why they even need us or force us to participate in shit. When you was talking about Russia and how, oh, well, the people still vote for it. They know it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, because they need the people to play along with the part, play the part. And if you play the part, you'll be safe. But then there's these stipulations that are put in place.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can play it safe, but eventually every day there's something that's not safe anymore. I.e., being able to critique somebody because you have free speech, but now you can't use free speech because now that's bad. Do you get what I'm saying here? It's like these people want to get in positions of power and they want to dish it, but they can't take it. And that's why I say this system, just like with the Bible, when they came over, that's why they removed all the supernatural aspects and just focused on the human aspects of things. But there were people who literally said, burn that book, burn it. Because there will be people who will use that book in a way that's destructive. And look at where we are now. We literally just listened to a live yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or day for yesterday, where we finished up part 2 of the ex-gay conversation. And maybe we can talk about that. No shade. Because they do talk about the gay shit, so let's talk about the ex-gay shit. Those individuals sitting there and literally trying to find a way to scare other gay people, fear bait them into joining their cause, but then feel some type of way when the majority of the church wants them to be completely reformed, and not just reformed as far as I'm not having sex. But what happens is, if you bend your wrist, you're gay. If you perch your lips, you're gay. If you eat a hot dog and you cut up and if you eat it like this, all they thinking about is this. And I mean the fucking hot dog, I'm hungry, nigga. And I like burnt hot dogs. So damn. And we at the cookout. I can't eat a hot dog. So if those are the things that make you gay, it's gonna take more than you just not sleeping with a nigga. You're gonna have to work on your mannerisms too, but then that's too much for them because that's just gonna be who I am. No, you're supposed to be a new creature in Christ. And that's what they tell them, but then want to tell us that they're freed and they're delivered. When old dude cried at the end, a part of me wants to believe that he has the faith, but I also believe that that cry at the end of that prayer was for him because he knows how difficult it is. Because again, these individuals can get online and talk all this shit and say all this shit, but we don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors when they're in the darkness all by themselves. Because shit hits your ass when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed. Can anybody testify to that? Isn't that when everything comes to the forefront? When you actually relax and you ain't got to perform and you ain't got to put your representative on or up front. You don't have to wear your mask. Being your complete, authentic, genuine self. And you have to deal with the fact that this is going to be for the rest of your life. And the organized religion, the church, is telling you that you have to find a way to romanticize that because that's your reality. There's a lot of fear mongering going on. And even if you want people to change, you don't even know how to lead them to the change. And all they want for the ex-gay people to do is to just, again, don't do it. You're doing too much. Don't do it outside. We don't want to see it. But the problem and the issue is, and Deshaun, you can go next. Even when we do hide it, y'all still be snooping and shit. Did I not mention about that lady who passed away who, again, was very religious and queerphobic, but yet loved me and low-key was trying to test and see if that was the case because she was trying to hook me up from women at her damn church. And I'm like, first of all, girl, even if I was heterosexual, no. Don't do me like that. That's it. Don't do me like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they will find a way to be messy. They will find a way to be messy. But go ahead, Deshaun.
But you see, that's because it's privilege. Because they want to use, and I don't know what it is. Listen, if you like gay people, just say it. If you want to sexualize gay people, just say it. Because there's women that are actually turned on by gay porn. I heard that from Mina, the actor, Mina, whatever her name is. She's saying, "Oh, me too, girl." And then there's women that actually liked having sex with gay men. So they need to stop that bullshit. They really need to stop that bullshit. But yet, at the same breath, they'll say they don't date motherfucking bisexual men. This is the most confusing ass women. They don't know what the fuck they want. They need to stop that bullshit.
Yeah, that's odd that
And
they
be real.
it's that's odd that they don't want a bisexual man, but that they will try to have sex with a gay man. That's so that's very odd. And there are a lot of women. I have friends who have told me that they prefer watching gay porn. Actually, gay men have gay porn of men. They don't say so much about the friends that I'm talking about are women, and then they don't say so much about watching lesbians have porn, although they don't mind that. But they do, for some reason, love watching gay men have sex. They like those types of porn videos, and they say that they're more explicit, and they do a lot more. They're less inhibited in the gay porns than they are in the straight porns. And then they think we're better looking too, also in the gay porn. So that's what my friends have told me, the ones who have told me that. So there are women out there who say that they prefer watching gay porn, and and then there are women who who want to sleep with gay men, and they try that. I've had them try it with me quite a bit.
Well,
Don't come over here.
but the thing
Don't come
is,
over here.
but what I don't like about them is they say they try to hate gay people, but you're sleeping with a gay person. That's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. You want to be so homophobic, but yet you're sleeping with a gay man.
Well, maybe
You
it could
don't
be.
make sense. You don't. It's very confusing. You're creating something that don't make any sense. You're trying to think that he's going to be straight, knowing that he's gay. The hell is wrong with you? These people are fucking crazy. The thing is, they don't like each other because the thing is, they don't like heterosexual. They don't like being with a heterosexual man, anyways. And a heterosexual man don't like to be with a straight woman. Let's just be real about it. It's all the cards is on the fucking table. Cause you know damn well you like the LGBT.
Place it on the table, baby. Your sexiness and velocity make me want to put my favorite recipe. Well, that's
They
Jessica. I'm
do.
sorry.
They try that shit. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
Well, maybe
No,
the reason why
motherfucker.
they.
You
Well, maybe
ain't
one of the-
you ain't gonna go there by me. No. You're trying
yeah.
to no.
I already told y'all,
Absolutely
hell no,
not.
I'm not doing that. Look, I don't have to have sex with women, with females, to appreciate and love and honor them. Okay, but I think the reason
And
why they
some of
probably
them are
do that.
absolutely messy because I just showed you, I don't know if I tagged you in it, where there was a gay man, a femme queen, where this woman tried to blackmail him. He actually had the videos of him pounding the fuck out of her because he said that, oh, you bitches trying to fucking try me, hate me and everything else because of my femininity while I'm pounding your motherfucking pussy out and shit like that. Say, oh, daddy, oh, all that other shit. He showed me the picture. So
He all
you're
up in that
saying
like that
shit
bitch.
that's homophobic, but you're fucking a gay man.
I only really hear that out. I really only hear that from black women. I don't really hear that much from like white women. Because there are some out there, but a lot of white women, the ones that I know, they don't really have a problem dating or having sex with a bisexual man. I know there's those out there who don't, but for the most part, I hear that out of black women where they say, "I don't want a bisexual man." And the weird thing is, some of them are bisexual themselves, and they don't mind having a woman, having a woman or having a man. I mean, they don't mind having a woman, but in being with and them also being with a straight man, but then they don't want a bisexual man. I mean, that's weird. I mean, I've heard that, before they're bisexual themselves, but but they don't want a bisexual man. I mean, if that's not fucking contradictory, I just don't know what the hell it is.
Well, maybe it could be the fact of like how there are some men out there who would try to sleep with lesbian women to
Well, yeah, they
prove that,
do.
oh, well, she's not a lesbian. I was able to turn her out. Maybe it's the same thing with women. You know what I'm saying? You'd have women that do say, I put this pussy on you. Hold on. The women say,
boy, I will put this pussy on you, boy. Like, stop playing. Like, okay, my shit is fine. Okay, I can spin around, keep that still inside. You know what I'm saying? And then they feel some type of way when the gay person be like, well, girl, I mean, I just don't know, girl. I just don't know. Maybe I need to get an extends or something, but like, I just don't know. But I'm gonna see. And they sit there, imagine. Okay, never mind. I ain't gonna do that.
I was about to be very stereotypical in the queer community, but I'm not gonna do that. Let me stop. 'Cause I was about to reenact the sex scene, girl, but it was gonna be. Do y'all want to hear it? Besides Deshaun, do y'all?
Deshaun's gonna fall out. Deshaun, go get that cold shower.
You better not. Oh my gosh, I'll blow
Girl,
out.
you want to fuck a gay man? And man trying to turn a gay man out, girl. And let's use the stereotype, girl. The stereotype, girl. Let's just act like it's the stereotype, girl.
You like that pussy, nigga? Yeah, girl, I like that pussy, nigga. Oh, yes. Oh my God, girl, this is tens across the board, bitch. Oh my God, Isha la kandala, bitch. Come on now.
Oh gosh.
Oh my
Girl.
God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Girl, let me stop. I'm over here sound like Say So TV. Oh, man.
Say so.
You sounded it out, and I saw you acting it out too. Acting it out also. So.
Yes, in a very
Look,
cringy way, but it is what it is.
So I'm gonna read you this. This is what he said. What I said. Look, okay, Martise Cotton. Since you females are trying to, since you females. Oh, sorry, I'm slurring. Since you females trying
My
me.
spirit didn't fell on you. I thought you were gonna be like, oh, but go ahead. You know how you are.
Since you females trying me, you want to speak on my dick, my sexuality, no matter what. I am the same sissy who beat your pussy up and had you running my 27-piece with stiletto nails. Check the comments for audio sample so you can hear yourself. Check my Twitter for the video so baffle-minded motherfucker mad because I won't give you no more dick. I keep my receipts. Y'all trying to trap me saying y'all pregnant. I'm tired of you. Stop faking. Wait, I tired of you. Stop faking or whatever he said. He said, I got tired of you. Stopping me. Okay, I got tired of you stopping me. So I faked the nut. He said I faked like I nut and took 200 and took the 200 you gave me, sent you out my door and jacked off. So basically he's saying that he saved the nut. That's what he said, and he jacked off while she left, while she gave him $200.
That's why I would never ever do that gay shit, girl, because I ain't about to waste no female time. I'm not. I'm just not.
But I heard the audio was she like, ooh, like, and then I heard the next one where she said, oh, do you want to get pregnant? Yes, definitely. I want you're mine. You're mine.
Oh my God.
Yes, I heard it all.
And what was this for?
Yes, I heard it all. But that's why I said, like, no.
This was on Facebook.
Look, I can't do that. I'm not going to lie. That's one thing I had to realize when I started. Like when I graduated high school, I had to make up in my mind. Okay, bro, I spent the majority of my life pretending to be someone that I'm not. Am I really about to keep this up? Am I really about to continue the perpetuation of the DL culture, especially in the church, because I was so heavily involved in the church? And no shade, the youth pastors before me, both of those were homosexual men. And both of them, what? Never mind, I ain't gonna say that part. Like, girl, why? Why y'all want to fuck me, girl? Like, why me? Oh, I need to work out with you. No, you don't. No, you don't. Work out with the Lord. That's the one you can work out with. But I had to realize that I had to make some sort of change. So I could not sit up here and lie to a female who really believe in me to be the man that she thinks she's getting. And I'm sitting here lying to her. Why would I do that? Why would I sit up here and create another stigma or another contributor to my?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? TikTok. Oh my God, listen, like, girl, I just found out that my man is gay, girl, and I was sitting here the whole time talking about telling bitches online, girl, see, my man, my man, he don't do that gay shit, girl. And girl, my man was out there doing it. And then I found the video on Instagram. And girl, he taking big dick better than me. What the fuck?
See,
You should have let that man walk in his truth, girl. You used to be talking about my man, my man, my man. And another gay bitch was saying, my man is your man, is our man too, girl. That's the thing. So again, that's why I say, like, this whole thing with queer phobia, race, all this type of stuff, we got to face this shit head on. Because if you don't, it's going to find its way to you. It's going to find a way into your shit. My dad was very queer phobic and ended up having not just a homosexual son, but a daughter who just got engaged. That nigga had a whole nervous breakdown, girl. He was getting ready to take himself out.
Oh, God.
But again, he had to learn how to love himself. Realize that his children are still the same. It's just their sexual orientation is different. But they didn't lose the sight of who we were because of this. Because there are some individuals who are going to submit to the fear. There are some individuals who are going to sit there and be like, oh, well, I can't have you near that. I have to disassociate myself from you, rebuke you and all this stuff. But then when you on your deathbed, now all of a sudden you want to think and now you want to talk to motherfuckers and have conversation with motherfuckers. Don't worry about, no. Talk to these invisible spirits that's looking at your ass waiting for you to go on. There's nothing that we have to talk about. And for a lot of people who are queerphobic, they're going to have those experiences with their children. Because there are people that I know right now who are very queerphobic to their child, girl, and are in really fucked up positions in life, girl, and their children are barely holding on as far as loving their ass, girl. No shade. Y'all don't sit up here and actually talk to queer people. Y'all talk about queer people, but don't talk to them. I'm the one sitting here, not just me, but on this platform, I'm the one that sit here and listen to the stories and the experiences of queer people.
This is what I have to say. Listen.
Go ahead.
They insert themselves into people's sexuality too much, and also their fucking kids. Because the thing is, your kids is gonna be just fine. Okay. The thing is, just because you don't like it doesn't mean anything to the kid. Absolutely not. Because the kid is gonna do whatever the hell that kid is gonna do behind your back. Either way. Even though you're trying to make this person proud because of heterosexual, by forcing heterosexual to the kid has another side nigga or a side woman. Either way is not going to work. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. And the thing is, these parents don't want to have another kid because the thing is, they're so asphyxiated by that one kid instead of having another baby that could be heterosexual. But they don't want to do that. They're too damn lazy. Because you know you're a freak. You're a freak and you know it. So why don't you have another kid? You're black and you're a freak.
He's a freak of the week. He's a big old freak. I mean, yeah, you could just have another child, of course.
Bingo! Ding, 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 ding. There we go. $1 million.
See, there are ways around this shit, and the fucked up part is that the people don't even want to learn, don't even want to hear that. That's the part that's irritating. Y'all not even willing to listen for real. Meanwhile, I sit my ass down and listen to over 100. Girl, it's so much tea that I could spill. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna motherfucking spill it.
Oh God.
Girl, and listen, I'm just being honest, girl, because this is a
They just
case
talked
study
about
for
Little
my
Nas
ass,
X.
girl. Hmm.
They just talked about Little Nas X on Twitter.
Oh,
Look at the
yeah.
Twitter.
Hold on to that real quick, because we're gonna definitely get to that next. I just want to say this real quick. No shade. There's a particular platform that the last time I talked to them, one of the individuals got mad at me because they say all I do is do commentary on them, and if they do look at at my channel, do their research, they realize that's not the case. But I do utilize their content a lot because over the past 3-4 years, I believe, I know, well, yes, 3-4 years, I've sat and listened to every queer phobic live they have. They had over 30 different lives, and the total span was over 130 something hours. I sat here and listened to 100 and responded to 130 hours worth of queerphobic commentary, and I transmuted that because my lives be long as hell sometimes. So imagine how much time I spent doing this shit.
Lord of mercy.
These individuals and individuals who think like this are fear-based, and they're mad and upset because we are literally using what comes out of your mouth. And over here on Bubz the God, baby, we listen to everything. I'm sorry that some individuals don't have stamina in that department.
Oh.
But that's what we're going to need in America to fix this mess. We're going to need individuals that not just have physical stamina, but need mental and emotional and spiritual stamina, because they're trying to suck and siphon all that energy out of every single one of us to make us feel hopeless when they are the scared ones.
They're definitely the scared ones.
And let's continue with the scared ones. You said what about Lil Nas X?
So Little Nas X was having a health issue where his face is actually half, because his face was like
Paralyzed.
not moving, paralyzed. So I looked on the comments. Already they're talking about his sexuality. Sex, drugs will do that. That's the first comment that I saw. The guy said, "You motherfuckers hate gay people for no reason." True, because you're just saying that just because of his sexuality, which has got nothing to do with his sexuality. Because the thing is, it could be a stroke, or it could be a paralysis where they have to actually do something to his face. Got nothing to do with anything. Because actually, straight people can get it too. You dumbass.
I mean, Justin Bieber had gotten it before.
Justin Bieber, and they actually posted Justin Bieber underneath his timeline, and no one watched it. No one actually took a look at Justin Bieber once they put in Justin Bieber's face on the bottom, and not just Justin Bieber. What's that woman sing? Katy Perry. Something was happening to her eye too. So okay, now here it is. Terry Cooking, homophobe. No reason, just the fact it's unnatural. Literally everyone in every society, despite the fact that they can never contract each other, decided it was a bad thing. And those few small ones who didn't last, but no biggie. That what the fuck does that got?
Myself. Go ahead,
What the hell does that got to do with this dude's toes? Okay, anyways, so being gay is unnatural. It leads to it leads to reproduction. Does it further than the human race? Gays have been on this earth since it started. LFMO, this world is going to keep reproducing with or without them. Stop being weird. But they haven't, though. Okay, so he's a dumbass because now gay people do have children. Gay people do have children. Okay, because you told them to. See, this is the shit that I'm saying. Then they say when they have children, then the children are going to be weird to kill themselves. Now that they have children, you're telling them you shouldn't have children.
Well, Someone else said, when you spend your life blaspheming against Jesus, these things happen.
It's
Well,
so
Is
it's
this a
just
side
weird.
effect of homosexuality? Someone else mocks. Someone else says, you mock Jesus. It's just the beginning. You will still lose control of other parts of your body soon. And what? Someone said God will not be mocked, and got white Jesus putting on shades and him saying deal with it.
I saw that. I
Someone
saw
else says,
that.
I know we all feel it is a punishment from God for mocking Christianity. I wish it were too, but unfortunately it's not. It's a medical condition called facial nerve palsy. It is caused by the paralysis of the seventh cranial nerve called the facial nerve. They are there are of two types. Peripheral lower motor neuron affects the entire face on one side. Example: Bell's palsy, Ramsay Hunt syndrome. I'm fucking these words up, Lord. Central upper motive neuron typically affects only the lower half of the face on the opposite side of the lesion. It usually occurs due to stroke, brain tumor, or MS. And then he
Yeah.
lists all the facial things. And guess what? Only two people responded to it. But let's go ahead and look at some of these other comments here that people responded to. Let me see. Oh, it says these. Where is it at, girl? I want to see the thing. I can't. I don't want to reply to it, girl. I want to see the replies. Well, there are some people in the comments who are getting this person together. But then again, queer people ain't gotta lie about their goddamn experiences, about what the fuck they go through.
Because
This
they
individual
tried
is
to
on the
put
screen talking about his face, and y'all over here talking about, girl, when you mock God, that's what happened, girl. So what happened when your grandmama passed away and she went to church all her damn life and she still died from diabetes? What did she
wait a
do?
minute. They just said Jesus was weak. That's what they said. They got the nerve to talk. Now the thing is that that's what they said when that mega shit happened. Now you want to talk Jesus is weak. I wonder if they all gonna have a motherfucking stroke because they talked about Jesus like that.
They might have a motherfucking stroke being so motherfucking caught up and upset and angry
Cause these motherfuckers
and
are
stressed
fucking
the fuck out.
stupid, and they like I said, it's about picking and choosing. That's what it is. They're so narcissistic and and then they don't own up for their motherfucking bullshit. That's exactly what it is. These are the same motherfuckers that want to say whatever the fuck they want to say, but when you say it, you're wrong, you're condemned, and all that other bullshit that be going on since the day you're fucking kid. All the way up. This is fucking stupid and retarded. They're doing this to create more people that just gonna go crazy. That's exactly what it is. Which they're already doing it because they did for a long time now. They've been doing this.
Keon says this knee-jerk mentality is on par with the Salem witch trials.
That's so
Just
dumb, man.
any of wiggle room to rage at somebody, and they jump at it ignorantly. Scratch my head. Bunch of followers.
There are
Look,
nothing but followers. They're fucking brainwashed motherfuckers. And these are Christians. These are motherfuckers that keep bullying other people. If you don't like something, scroll. If you don't like anything, scroll. Stop talking bad about someone because the thing is, it always comes back to you.
that's because they don't
Tifa T,
think
you
for
want to say anything? There you
themselves.
go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They don't think for themselves. They're just listening to what's being spewed from the pulpit, and then they call themselves reading the Bible or whatever. With they're skimming and whatever they're doing through the Bible. They don't really interpret it correctly. So, and with this whole gay, the homosexual, whatever, if you think critically, if for the people who do believe in the Bible, the King James version of the Bible, shall I say, if for those who believe in that, and they want to use certain passages or whatever to condemn gay people, homosexuality or whatever, you know, uh, if if God so hated homosexuality, and really wanted it not here, then why are we still here? If you want to use that antiquated passage from the Sodom and Gomorrah, well, if he destroyed, Sodom, then then destroy the rest of the gays and the queers and the eunuchs and the the lesbians. Destroy them all. Why just that?
That see
They
that
Spiritual
don't,
eunuchs.
I agree with you.
they don't understand that passage. What it was really about. Or whatever they. If he so hated and was so disgusted with us, why the hell are we still here?
This is the thing I want to know.
If God
because
is, if he's so, he's all powerful and vengeful and all of this stuff, then why did you destroy us all? I mean, and then we're still here, and there's still more of us, and more of us coming. We
you want to know what it is? Because it's trauma. Because I'm gonna tell you why they're doing it. The real reason why they're doing it is because they don't want to talk about their own traumas. Because some of these men have been raped. You want to know why? Because some of these men have been raped, and that's the things, and that's the real reason why. Because they had discernments from the pastors of the church having sex with them boys and stuff like that. They were actually shocked because the thing is, they were supposed to be heterosexual, and the thing is, they try to use the Bible of Sodom and Gomorrah to create something where all gays are fucking raped. But the thing is, the ones that are quiet and behind closed doors are the ones that are not identified as gay. The ones that are actually doing it is not identified as anything. They are unknowns, and they're the ones that are the ones that started this shit. So they are blaming the whole LGBT community, and the LGBT community is like, "What? I didn't do that to you." But they'll say, "You did it. You did it because you're the one that actually sodomized. You were sodomizers." But how are they sodomizers when they are consenting? But you were sodomized. So you're using your experience of how you was raped to the whole LGBT community. Make that make sense.
And most gay men have not been raped. There's a lot of them out there, but all of us, because we're gay or bisexual, queer, whatever, however you want to label us, most of us have not been raped. The percentage that has been raped, there's a percentage of us that have been raped, but most of us have not been raped. I've never been touched. I was never touched by.
Me either.
I didn't even have. There was no gay people. There was, except for my brother. But I mean, there was no that I knew about. But I didn't even grow up knowing anything really about gay. Except only thing I knew is that I was attracted to boys and girls. And more attracted to boys. And I knew this at an early age. As early as kindergarten, going into the first grade, I knew I was. I didn't know what it was called, but I was never touched by my father. I was never touched by my grandfathers. I was never touched by my uncles. The gay word never even came up around me.
Because,
I was never abused. I was never abused in any manner. So that's a fallacy to sit there and say that gay men, we're this way, gay or bisexual men are this way because we were touched or abused. That's not true. There's some that are, but the majority of gay men have not been sexually abused by these other men or women out there. And if that's the case, then what about the men who have been sexually abused by women? Kids and boys that have been sexually abused by women at an early age. Well, those guys, they still come out. Most of them still come out heterosexual. So then that means that would have to apply to them also. That means they should have turned out where they should have turned out gay then if these women are molesting them. The trauma from that should have sent them in the other direction.
Right.
And it didn't. Most of them turned out heterosexual. So that's bullshit.
it is bullshit. It's bullshit. But the thing is, a lot of people, because heterosexuals, because of the other stories that they listen to, that when they hear it, they take that and register it in their head like, and they'll say, oh, because the gay person, they just simply say gay, and the person that was actually heterosexual, actually, that didn't really, they're trying to tell, oh, well, you're gay because you were like this. Because when they're kids, they don't really realize it. They'll view every gay person that is gay touched. But the thing is, it's not true. And that's the thing. Is like King Jives wasn't touched because he even said the story about that. And he said that because he even also said stories about that pastor that he was talking about, where the pastor was molesting children, but it wasn't Jives. Because let me tell you, Jives' family would come and beat that motherfucker up or kill him or something. Because he was very well protected. So the thing is, it's just so weird how people take another person's story and then use it to every other person when you're putting everyone in a box when not everyone was touched.
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Smoke
Not everyone
Dragon
was touched,
says,
because let me tell you something. Let me flip it. Because then I actually went on Twitter. Then there was a story of a gay man that was actually molested. Well, not molested, but he had to actually have sex with a girl, and he actually had to have a kid because of his father. Because his father said a lot of things that I'll kill my son if he was ever this or that or whatever it is, and he had to do something like that, and he was traumatized by that. And he's still going through that. And that's the thing that people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that what people go through, you just can't put one in one box. Because there's gay people that actually was molested by also women, because women think that they have a chance to change the person. There is actually women that are prostitutes that have been having sex with kids because the fathers forced them to have sex with someone. Because they have to turn them straight again, knowing that it doesn't work like that. You just created a kid that is a sexual deviant, confused, and going out into this world where they're going to fuck up, kill themselves, or whatever the fuck, or they're going to do it to their next kid and probably kill the kid, or kill themselves, or do something to those women, kill themselves, kill women, or kill gay people, or kill everybody and kill themselves. Because you just created that freaking, that trauma right there. That's what you did. It all starts at home because of the fathers that do that dumbass shit.
and with those things, we can prove that happens. Like, there are so many damn YouTube channels where they cover things. Like, we literally used one of their videos the last time Deshaun we were on the platform together about that father who was abusing his damn son because his son was gay. So it's like, again, these things do happen, and they're starting to happen, a lot more, unfortunately. So if you, Extra Smoke Dragon says, you forget the mind is for solving problems. Putting a label on you allows them to move to the next thing. We label everything, and that's the error. We don't need to identify folks' sexuality. That's the type of America that I would want to get to. But
they're not going to do it. You want to know why?
Well, they're
because
afraid
straight people. No. There's straight people that will label you for you, such as if you do anything gay, you're gay.
Correct. Right.
They will label them for you. They will actually do that.
You got to switch in your walk, you gay. If you eat a hot dog a certain way, you gay.
Oh, they're gonna
you take care of yourself, you gay. For you. If you wipe your ass, you gay.
So that's just
That's because
they're God. They're God. They are God.
They're gay. It's called
they're God.
Reflecting off of themselves. When they go through all of that thou dost protest too much. All of that gay, this, and you're that gay, whatever. That's so they can take the onus off of themselves.
Well, I think the gays need to go ahead and being gay like this. Just let them know. Let them know.
It's okay, girl. You just come on out, girl. It's okay, girl. Girl. It's okay, girl. Like, we know. We been new, girl. It's okay. You can still be a man, girl. You can still live your life, girl. You still be you, bitch. So just be you, girl. I'm just saying, damn, we know. Girl, we know it's queerphobic, because y'all be the same queerphobic ass niggas be trying to fuck the gays in the closet, bitch. So obviously we know what's going on. And then when y'all get done busting nuts, here come y'all demons. Y'all sitting there talking like this.
Oh, damn, man. Fuck, I shouldn't have did that, man. Like, I'm fighting my own inner demons, nigga, and I just sat here and fucked you like this. I can't even look my baby mama in the fucking face, man. Damn, I just don't know. Like, yeah, you just keep fucking tempting me. That's that gay agenda shit, bitch. I need to go to church, girl, because now you got me saying girl and shit. Damn, this gay agenda shit. But we gonna meet up tomorrow night.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to
I
say
kind of want
that.
you to put it in my ass this time.
That's what I was getting ready to say. And then after they done it and then got over done felt guilty and prayed and did whatever, then 2 or 3 weeks later they hit you up again, asking if they can come back for more.
Ooh, boss man said if you have nails,
If you have nails,
if you
like
have nails.
like Catwoman from Holly Berry, like my nails, scratch.
But I know for a fact if you got motherfucking nails, I know if my back was itching like a motherfucker, I know it'd be scratched really good. You know when your back gets scratched real good, or like if your head is itching, you scratch it real good. Them nails
Well,
do that.
actually, the
Yeah.
nails actually help to get rid of the scratches. Like the itchiness.
Come on, get rid of the nails, get rid of the scratches, bitch. I'm with you, girl.
The itchiness. I'm sorry, the itchiness.
Nah, girl, you gotta own it, girl. What did Andrew say, bitch? Hold on, Andrew, what you say, girl?
And that's one thing. And
You
then
wanted it,
okay.
and you got it.
You what?
You wanted it,
And you what?
and you got it. That vibe would never leave you,
So
nor
you-
forsake you.
So that
wow.
vibe. So
Shaya. Oh, Mashanya. Oh, I feel a Shakani up in here. Shandaba. Oh, I feel a Shakani up in here.
hell
home
no.
team things?
In no way. Ain't never been a representative for me. So speak for you, my brother.
Honey, I represent all the men here. Anyway,
This for faggots.
This for faggots, bitch.
Oh God.
The gays are back. No weapon.
No
Do I have that clip, bitch?
weapon.
Do I have that clip, girl? Did I put it up here? Did I put it? Oh, hold on now.
Formed against me shall prosper.
Oh,
It won't work. Formed against me. Give me that ad lib again. No weapon. One more time. No weapon. One more time. No weapon. Who the fuck y'all hoes? Okay, the facts are back. Who the fuck y'all hoes think it was, bitch, or what time of day it was?
girl, the fact that I wanna do a live with her one day, and I just wanna lay my head on one of her titties and just do the whole live, let her rub my head. I love T.S. Madison so much.
I think
Throw
her
your hand on them
starting
titties,
fee is $20,000.
Huh?
I said, well, I think her starting fee is $20,000.
I am a leprechaun. First of all, I am a leprechaun. I have ways of making things work.
I mean, I'm imagining it. I'm just imagining it right now. Like, were you laying your head on her titties? I'm like, oh,
Bro, Deshaun, I'm gonna need you to write a book, bitch. I need you to get all this pressure out into a book or something, or start submitting some Reddit post or something. Cause I keep saying I'm gonna do that DL voiceover thing, but every time I do, they shut my shit down. They don't like how I talk. Girl, not the Republicans gonna be like, hell no, we can't have that black leprechaun getting my shit all hard, talking like that. Shut that shit down. Extra Smoke said, I just told my wife about washing your butt is now gay. Oh, yes, it is. It's so sad. I saw this one video, this one nigga that was out here, some trap nigga. He showed his underwear. It looked like he was washing the damn tub with the shit, girl, with a ring around it. Talking about this real nigga shit. You a real nigga. All this shit. I'm sitting here like, oh, wow.
So okay, so I have an alternative for that. Since that's now gay, guess what? You're gonna have to have a sprayer, a powerful sprayer, to now just it's a movable sprayer like a car wash, and it just washes you like a freaking car wash, like those little that big sprayer that just washes you from top head to toe, from the behind to the front, down to the legs, all that other stuff. Very powerful pressure.
Baby, are you down? These are coming from niggas,
like
girl,
the
who don't
cat.
even know how to wash up. Fuck, put shit down, can't even wash up. That is horrible. Like, I mean, come on now. I mean, that's the thing. Like, and no shade. I think that black men, especially black straight men, can learn to be more free. Now, when I mean more free, I don't mean free to where now you gotta do freaky deaky shit with gay niggas. We're not saying that. But free to express yourself, to be you.
Express
Yes, and to watch your
yourself.
ass.
Express yourself. You gotcha.
There should be no way when you sit down, you move, and you still here. They had this one meme of Michael Jackson girl where the caption said, "How is it 19 degrees outside and you still musty?" And Michael Jackson looking at you like this. Come on now.
And you know Michael Jackson's gonna correct you if you don't freaking wash up. I know Michael Jackson's the cleanest person because if you even try to be near him smelling like that, he will run. He would definitely run or moonwalk away from you.
Not moonwalk, sidewalk and shit. Now I will say this because no shade, it's gonna get a little gay a little bit. So for you heterosexual people, if you want to hear this, I'm grateful for you being here and working through your shit. Because if we gotta sit here and hearing y'all talk about vaginas and titties in songs and in movies and it's all that shit, y'all can listen to some gay shit for a little bit. Now, if your ass feels some type of way, and I ain't mean in here, but I mean down there, there's something that you have to deal with in yourself. Don't get mad at the messenger, bitch. Get mad at the message. Okay? But no shade. There is nothing wrong with a little man sense. There's nothing wrong with a little
Nothing wrong with it at all.
There's nothing wrong. But when it starts becoming the funk of 47, like the president, 1,000 years, girl, no, we gotta move on, pimpin'. Hell no.
Right.
If we being intimate and you smell like a zoo, and y'all know zoos smell horrible. Walking past the elephants and rhinoceroses and shit, no. Extra Smoke said, but days are normal. He says, I've been free for a long time. Well, we thank you. Please help some of these other niggas be free, girl. Well, I ain't mean girl. I'm sorry. It's the gay thing in me. Everybody is girl. Everything is girl. Just like I said, the word bitch is for everybody. Keon says, I sometimes tire of giving long paragraphs of what subcategories I subscribe to or affirm. Like at some point, I say just invest in an intelligent conversation with me and you'll find out. Yes, get to know people, but that's the problem. People don't want to get to know each other because that fear is there. Oh, you're gay, so I'm afraid you're going to do this. Oh, you're black, so I'm afraid you're going to do this. And it's kind of like, again, first of all, it don't never be the... Let me say it in a gay voice. Hold on, girl. Stereotypical gay voice.
It always be the ugly niggas. They're always talking about girls and don't do that gay shit. It always be the busted, most disgusting, nastiest ass niggas that's always saying this shit, girl. The girls don't want you. The gays definitely don't want you, girl. You gotta be a goddamn AI character in order to get recognition in the gay community, bitch. You gotta be 6 foot, girl. You gotta have a perfect body, girl. Your beard gotta be symmetrical, bitch. You gotta have a chiseled jawline, bitch. You gotta have big ass muscles, big ass chest, big ass dick, big ass legs, big ass thighs, big ass house, 2 cars, big ass motherfucking bank account, girl. Y'all don't even have flat stomachs, so we already know that. And this is not fat shaming, girl, because there are some individuals who have stomachs that are getting loved out here, and God bless them. But I'm talking about those niggas with the fupas. It's time for the fupa later. It's time for the fupa later. Time to shake what McDonald's gave you. Time to shake what Burger King gave you, girl. DoorDash and came through and made a whole killing, girl. You kept DoorDash alive. Y'all kept DoorDash alive, bitch. Damn. DoorDash and the church.
Keon says, Musk versus Musk. Please learn the difference. Extra Smoke said 100. Hero said the booger wolves and the ones with 3 necks, 2 titties in the front and 3 in the back, girl. Weed equal jam sandwich, girl. Let me tell you something about weed, okay? I don't give a fuck. If people sit up there and say, oh, Bubz the guy, you're an addict. You're addicted to weed. Okay, let's play the game. Let's say I am addicted to weed. First of all, I'd rather be addicted to something that's from the fucking earth than some shit that was man-made and fuck you up. Ooh. There are medicinal benefits to weed as well. There's a documentary on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but it's a whole documentary about weed. And for those of you who are weed enthusiasts or you are interested, you should really, really watch that. It talks about the whole racist part about weed. The fact that now weed is legal and is $1 million, almost $1 billion industry, but yet there are black people who were selling I'm about to say nickel bombs, girl, nickel bags and dime bags,
For
and they
years.
still in prison right
Prison.
now. And then you
Wow.
have these white men who are now in the cannabis business when they're asked about, well, what happens if a black person who's a criminal or used to be a criminal girl decides to get into this? Well, I don't know if I would feel comfortable about, them being in the motherfucking industry. Bitch!
Oh.
Girl. And if it's one person I definitely want to learn some shit from, it's from Extra Smoke Dragon. Shout out to the individuals who been OGs in this shit. And like I said, I'm going to manifest sponsorships on this damn platform, baby. I want every live to be sponsored by some shit. I'm gonna try your shit while I'm on live so we can be able to test it in real time. Look, we take this damn edible. We already almost 4 hours into the conversation. After taking the edible, about 1 hour, 2 hours, girl, we gonna see. Am I gonna be alert? Am I gonna be like this, girl? Hear the static and shit, girl. I'm just knocked the fuck out.
But listen, how. Listen, when it comes to cannibalists, they just want to lock the black man up, knowing that they did this forever, and then they just want to have the white man up there so they can take what's the black man's first, and then use it as theirs. Oh, I did it. I did it. I was the white man that did this. I did it all by myself. No, you didn't, because it was actually the black man that did it. You know it. You just don't want to actually admit it because you want to erase history, thinking that it's yours and put a name on it. That's what
That's
it
the
is.
thing that's more like crazy to me. Like, if you have everything there is to have, if you are ultra privileged, I'm talking about to a place again where you ain't gotta pay taxes because I'm wealthy. That's for poor people. All that type of shit. Why are you so jealous of these people though? Oh, because they have the one thing that money can't buy. That's the problem. And no shade. Because of what we've been through and how black people been able to transmute shit, we own some dope shit. It is what it is. We influence and inspire the culture. This is not anything new. Back in the day, during segregation and stuff, hell yeah, they was playing that motherfucker. Got me a Cadillac, Cadillac. Got me a Cadillac. They played all that shit in the daytime when mommy and daddy was up and all that stuff. Wait until mommy and daddy go to bed. Which version are they listening to? Which
Are we?
version is playing when they're going to make out Lane, girl, to go do adult shit with little Bobby? Little Bobby about to get his dick wet for the first time with your daughter. And they playing what? They ain't playing the white version, they playing the nigga version, girl, because they want all that emotion and passion and shit, girl. They don't want Tutti Frutti all Rudy. They want Tutti Frutti good booty because that's what the original song was. So they want that, but again, it's like stealing and siphoning. And
Yeah,
in the words of Paul Mooney, everybody want to be a nigga, but don't want to be a nigga.
but don't
Y'all
want
want
to
to
be.
be a nigga when it come down to the benefits and the dope part, and oh my god, that's rad and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the club doing the latest dance and shit. But when it come down to the actual issues that black people deal with, the reality of it, y'all know where to be found. Y'all want to be appropriators of the culture as opposed to being appreciators of the culture. But you
Mm-hmm.
want us to appreciate your culture, though. You want us to give reverence to your culture while you shit on ours, and then demonize some of us who are willing to go back and try to figure out and find a starting point, or like in a video game, if you die, if you can restart at the latest checkpoint, and then
Mm-hmm.
work that way. Y'all demonize that,
Well, they
but
try to
that's
do it the easy way. They try to do it the fastest way by taking stuff like that and then just naming it theirs because it's not really theirs. They want to do it the easy way. So it's kind of like taking okay, so it's kind of like Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel, okay? And Colonel
come through extra strong.
actually bought, well, he actually had a business where he shook hands with another company. Come to find out, the company took hold of his business and changed his ingredients, and he was
Mm.
cussing up a storm because he did not like the gravy that they put the ingredients in. That wasn't his ingredients. He was like, this fucking gravy is fucking slop. tastes like fucking slop. That's exactly what they're doing to black people, because black people have worked their hard on money, their time, what they made, all these ideas, and white people just take their stuff and use it on their own. That's exactly what it is.
And when we say white people, I need for white America to understand what we're talking about. I don't give a fuck. If you're a white person, you have privilege in this country. Even if you are a poor white person, you may be the wigger of the white community, but you still got the complexion for the protection. So your life is gonna be more valuable than a black person's life. So it's like for those individuals who sit up here and act like and deny their privilege, those are the individuals we have to smoke for. But for the white people who understand what's going on, we thank you for being aware, but we're gonna need you to be more performative in reference to actual work as opposed to just performing this for optics. Because like even with the Democratic Party, and one thing that I think that they were mad at is like, y'all remember that one time where some of the Democratic officials were like kneeling in honor like with blackness with the African garb on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's an optic move, bitch. What the fuck that do? We stand with y'all. Then do some shit. Don't just take a fucking picture, bitch, and then do it, girl. Oh, this stand. Can you even get up? Some of y'all 10 minutes older than dirt, girl. Y'all sure they can get back up?
I know, like they're just standing there like they're freaking token. Like, are you gonna do something? Like, I mean, what are you, a token of something or what? You should do more if you're with
Shot up
us.
extra smoke with the knowledge. What are your
It's
thoughts, T for T? Oh, I'm
it's
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead,
unbelievable.
Deshaun. Go ahead.
No, it's just unbelievable because it's just absolutely ridiculous how they just don't want to take action. The thing is, take action. Spread flyers, do something. You know what I mean? Spread flyers, spread awareness that hey, we need help. You know what I mean? So why not do that or something like that?
And no shade. Well, let me say this real quick, and then T for T, if you have anything to say, because I want to get you in the conversation too. If you have anything to share, because I know I can talk. I ain't trying to dominate the conversation.
Go
But
ahead.
girl, sometimes I just need to just say what the fuck I gotta say. I be trying to add extra shit in there, girl. It just be loading, girl. Then it be like it fuck up or whatever. But shit. Uh, I hate when this happens. What was the last thing you said, Deshaun? Remember?
I said, spread flyers. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like, do
that's the
something.
thing.
Stop being
Thank
a
you.
token. You know what I mean? It's
Um,
unbelievable.
Thank you. I need the help sometimes. Um, I appreciate what Tipper Tat does because again, like not only does he come onto YouTube and he speaks truth to power, but he's able to speak truth to power in such a way because he is actually in the environments watching this stuff happen as far as like protesting and marching and stuff. But I think with us as black people, we have to continue to explore greater avenues of protest and not just, grounds on the feet on the ground. We
Yeah.
do need that. That is a part of it. That's definitely part of the plan. But different ways like me. I love the era of social media. I really want to be able to do activism through my art, through my creativity, through YouTube. The way that I can tell stories on my platform. I eventually want to start working on like short series or maybe even like a feature length film or a series of films. Like I really want to get into that type of stuff and use my activism in that way. So it's like right now I'm just doing what I know to do. Cause no shade, I ain't gonna hold you. There's even been like a queer organization here in Detroit. No shade. It's not me throwing shade at them. They just me just being honest. Like I was so excited to be a part of that organization because I felt like I was actually doing something as opposed to just being a armchair activist where I think we can get a lot of learning from it. We can connect, which is what I'm realizing because everything's more so online. But also, I love being amongst the people and being in that energy. But one thing I realized is that everybody can do it online, but when it's time to actually organize, a lot of people is not there, especially in the Black gay community, especially in these Black gay organizations. Because when I would go, it would be like barely people there, and I'm like, they offering resources, services, information to make things better, and here it is, there aren't people here. But let motherfucking Hot Rod or let motherfucking Kyle Levine or Fat Rabbit Killer or all them other performers be coming to the club tonight it's gonna be jam packed. The damn fire department gonna have to come out because it shut the shit down because there's so many motherfuckers in there trying to see them. But when I tried to engage with them, no shade, they were kind of on some bougie shit, and I don't really fuck with bougie ass gay people. I don't. I don't really fuck with bougie ass people at all. I don't like that uppity ass shit. Like, bitch, you can still show up and be your damn self, but girl, you ain't gotta downplay people. You know what I'm saying? Or act
So
some type of way towards them
you sound like
when
T.S. Madison.
when they trying to help you.
When
I love
when
T.S.
them
Madison.
girls came into T.S. Madison, I think they threw their hair at T.S. Madison, and she's like, "Bitch."
Well, I love T.S. Madison, and I remember watching her back when she was the BDB. This before she was like the T.S. Madison. I'm talking about back in the day when she was doing adult films. I used to follow her back then.
Bigbitch.com.
Yes, I'm talking about back in the day where it was one. I'm so mad that goddamn. I'm gonna shut up about this shit. But anyway, it was one video where she was coming down the steps and she had on like these extra small like bra and panty sets, and you know how her ass is thick. So them panties is holding that ass together. She coming down the steps and you hear a theme song playing, doom 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 doom. It's the full song. I'm like, bitch, where that song at? She come down the stairs and she's talking about. Let's see if I can put it on a girl voice. She
Came down. And she was like, oh my God, oh hey guys, hey, it's this real T-ass bitch, real. And she was shaking her ass back and forth. And then she would sit there.
and she would sit on her sofa, and behind the pillow she was talking about how, bitch, she got smoked for them hoe ass niggas that was, or bitches talking about her. She pulled out her motherfucking 9mm, her 380, then her damn bear mace, and then behind the other pillow she bringing out her latest project of what she doing, my new BDB shit or whatever. So I loved her back then, and that's why I really fuck with T.S. Madison, because if there is one woman who literally defied all the fucking odds against her, it is T.S. Madison. To watch T.S. Madison go from where she was, and she was a go-getter then, always been the same. Like, even though people said, oh, you're trans, it ain't gonna work, or at that time before she was trans, oh, you're gay, it ain't gonna work. Like, all of the stereotypes and stigmas against her, she still came to the door butt ass naked with her titties at the top and her at the bottom, talking about 22 inches, yes, in her $1 million house, which is now a starter house for trans. Shout out to her for that. And now has moved into a bigger home. So again, you can't sit up here and tell me that shit ain't possible. When you got these ex-gay people talking about, oh my God, you know, well, they may be getting riches, but it's the riches of the devil, girl. You wouldn't motherfucking know, girl, because you too busy believing the devil of this motherfucker, as opposed to believing the devil that tells you that you're not worth it and that you'll never get it. Do you get what I'm saying? And she went through all the odds and manifested her best life, and it keeps getting better. So shout out to T.S. Madison always. And like I said, I love Mother Madison. And even though she may charge $2,000, whatever it is, she might give a leprechaun a discount because I think she loves little men.
What?
I think because there was one time where she was doing adult work with this one guy that flew into town, and it was a shorter dude, but she loved him. Like, they was riding around, they was having fun and shit, and she was so sad when he left. So I was like, oh, you was probably like show niggas. Okay. So we'll see. And I got a rainbow and pot of gold. Okay, no shade. There is powers when you're a leprechaun. Y'all think I'm playing? Bitch, I'm 5'2", but that's it. This fucking energy be something else. I remember I would have big, tall ass motherfucking niggas, or whatever. You like to climb trees, baby. I already got Deshaun getting in the shower again for the 12th time today. Girl, can we go back to the comment that he left at the beginning? Will it even go back that damn far? Let's see. Let's pull that up, girl. Let's scroll a little bit.
Trees. I mean, listen, they say there's jockeys, you know what I mean? So there's jockeys like cowboys, you know what I mean? So he can play cowboy, you know?
Because Deshaun said, Bubz, you always know how to rub me the right way. Let me do the voice. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to do the gay voice. Hold on.
Oh, gosh.
I wish I had that Moesha music playing in the background. Down, 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 girl. Bubs, you always know how to rub me the right way. The way your voice just caressed my ears. The way your voice goes deep into my soul. It is just a pleasurable feeling that I would never forget. See, you always know what to say, the way you say it, and how you say it. I don't know how I could not just keep my eyes off you and your voice deep down inside. It's like you're going into my soul. It's like your voice just sweeps me off my feet. Man, don't let the people come in and get wet now with your voice. Like waterfalls dripping like the Mississippi River all the way down to the ocean, deep diving. Girl, you turned that shit into a haiku. I mean, the passion, you never know what above the Bubz the God might do. Just imagine him massaging you with oil and stuff like that, saying, do you like that, mommy? Where the fuck mommy come from? Where the fuck did mommy come from? Whispering into your ear, saying, I'ma do some freaky things to you while I'm doing the oil massages, exotic oils too. Did you say Ciroc oils? Ciroc or whatever, girl.
Oil. I was supposed to say ester oil, but saying something else.
You already know. And you are a Scorpio? Well, I'm a Scorpio in my moon sign. You already know all those nasty thoughts, me too. And he better not read this stuff, and he better not scroll right back up and see it.
Too late. Too late. Girl, they done fucked around and got me a fucking soundboard, bitch. Oh, Lord.
Wait till you might have to put a towel down for Tay Breeze.
No, that one time when that chair was whooping your ass, I said, how is that working? How you gonna fall out the chair and the chair is moving backwards, dragging you? Bitch, this nigga, I'm over got this nigga laughing so hard, he falling on the ground. You kind of moving around like a damn creature. I'm like, girl, can you breathe, first of all? Then she tried to get up and the motherfucking chair is like dragging them backwards. I'm like, damn, how you get fired on your day off?
He needs to show himself so everybody can see him falling out, because that's what just watching him.
Deshaun probably ain't got no panties on the dance floor. Bitch. Let's talk about that for a while. We might as well shoot the shit. Fuck it. Do y'all remember those BET uncut shows that would come on like around 2-3 in the morning?
I never seen it. There you go.
I remember watching that.
Oh, yeah.
They had this one song that would come on, girl, and this how the chorus go. I'm trying to freak you tonight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So won't you tell me what that thing smell like? And it start with an old ass man, girl. All of these girls walking in, he's sticking his hand down there, or the girls walking past, and they putting their finger up, and he, okay, go ahead. Okay, you good? Go ahead. Old ass man, like he a damn deacon.
What was this? Oh, this was on BET?
Yes, this was on BET. BET Uncut. This is where the big booty vixen bitches be at shaking ass. They be doing all the lesbian shit. This where all the sexy black videos was on. And this is on BET at 3 in the morning. Your child got motherfucking Cartoon Network on last. Y'all remember back in the day when you could press the last button and go back to it?
Please, women back in the day. Well, women in the era was also doing this new trick where, if their man is cheating, they said, something's going on. Let me smell your ding.
Smell my dick. Wait a minute. Hold up. See, that's how a bitch get her eyes swole up.
Something's going on.
Some stripper bitch named Diamond. I know all that shit, all that, and I listened to that shit in high school. Y'all be talking about protect the children. The children be singing them songs.
Yep,
These be the
something.
same motherfuckers that would have these rappers come to your children's school and tell them to stay in school, but they ain't in school.
Yep,
How the fuck you gonna tell me
something.
to do something that you ain't doing?
Yep,
But
something's
yeah,
going
T for T,
on.
back in the day, yes, they had BET shit. It was explicit shit. And I remember watching it as a as a teenager, as a child. I ain't got no panties on. Ain't got no panties on. I ain't got no panties on the dance floor. Don't. Shit, I'm like, what?
That's like those. That's like those after dark things when when people used to have cable and like HBO or like I think it was HBO and then they would show those after dark. They're supposed to be like sort of soft porn like movies. They didn't
Let me tell
show
you.
They didn't show some actual penetration, but they
Yeah.
would show the soft stuff of them. You know, that sounds
and
like.
that's and that's kind of like where I discovered like watching that stuff because again like HBO kind of I guess was like one of the first stuff that I saw because back in the day my parents they used to do this trick I'm sure niggas used to do back in the day. They would buy a VCR some combo whatever and then like whatever's on the TV they would record it on a VCR. So my parents used to record Def Comedy Jam a lot or whatever and I remember I saw something on there. I'm like, oh, but it was only a little bit because my dad was probably like, oh, he ain't finna watch this. He probably wished I watched it. I wish my son would have watched it. Please get hard on the titties, nigga. Please. But I remember watching that. But you know what was better than HBO?
What? Cinemax?
Cinemax.
I was getting ready to say
Oh,
Cinemax.
Cinemax had the best shit. And see, back then when they would have sex, like you said, they would show the active sex, but they didn't show the penetration part.
Right.
But one thing that I love is when them niggas was doing them girls in doggy style. I mean not doggy style in missionary because I've always been a top. So when I see that ad, I'm like, okay, this is nice. And I'm gonna tell you like this, no shit, I'm gonna tell on myself.
Oh, smoke.
There was
Yeah.
one time that I was girl, I can't believe I'm saying this, girl. This is gonna be so crazy. But this is what boys do when they're horny. They do crazy shit.
You were humping the pillow.
No. Girl, I've been done that, girl. I done humped the pillow, humped the bed, bitch. One time I had a boxing thing or whatever. I was humping that girl. I was surprised at the ways I was able to bust nuts. But I remember that the only place that my girl, this is gonna sound so horrible and so crazy. The only place one time where there was like cable past 100 was in my parents' room. So one time I'm in there watching stuff at night, and mind you, my parents are behind me. I started looking at shit or whatever, and I started beating off in the room and looking behind me to make sure that they didn't catch me. Do you see how freaky niggas can be? We used to have a computer that was in the kitchen. I put so many damn viruses on that motherfucking computer, them damn blue screens of death. Imagine the excitement of you in the bathroom, you trying to do your shit, but at any moment you hear that door open. You just changing shit. There was an excitement about that. And the many times that I did it, I was like, oh wow, that's just crazy. I guess I would share that. I guess we just being honest. Keon says Hotel Erotica, The Witching Hour, Cabin Trip, any of those after 11 p.m. back in Virginia, and it's a wrap. Hell yeah, I remember Hotel Erotica. They used to have one called Zane Sex Chronicles. That was the black version. They had all type of shit on there. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that when y'all talk about protecting the children are curious. Whatever they want to see, they gonna find it out. And now they living in the era where they got the phone. You don't even know. You don't even know as a parent what the fuck they looking at.
Right.
But let's not act like back in the day you wasn't doing some shit. How many of y'all motherfuckers back in the day found your daddy's adult stash or got caught beating off?
Oh, Zane.
I remember that one video I saw. This one boy, he was sitting there crying or whatever. Tell him what she was doing. I was jacking her. What you say you was doing? I was jacking up. Yes, like, but y'all don't want to have those conversations. And then on top of that, how do you have those conversations with gay boys? How do you do that?
They don't.
I've asked heterosexual people all the time, if you have a queer son and you want to teach your son, you want to be able to control the sexual aspect as far as the education is concerned about your son, if that's your son. If your son is gay, how do you teach your son gay? How do you help him to build a foundation on that? Are you going to read the books? Are you going to read it with him? Are you going to be comfortable enough to do this with him? How is he going to learn? So again, if you a boy that ain't got, your father ain't talking to you about sex because you're not attracted to women, girl, of course you're going to do some freaky shit. And exploring and finding yourself. And again, like I admitted in my a wonderfully made doc or whatever, I have been intimate with my peers when I was younger. There was one that was consistent. I shared it in my live about it when I did my live overall recap with everybody. I shared it. Yes, it was a fellow male. His name was W. I'm calling him W. Very feminine, but that was the person that I experimented with.
Yeah, how can I forget?
I experimented in my house with him, experimented in his house with him, and we never got caught. But it was an exploration. Like you said, I was never touched. There was nothing passed on to me. This was something that I was exploring. And I also was hunching on girls, too. The girls in my neighborhood had a crush on me. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to do nothing with y'all. And they even did shit, too. Like I said, it was one time where, and it's going to be very explicit, but we just being honest. One of my heterosexual male friends had a crush on this other girl. And there was this one spot in the area we lived, because we all lived next to each other, and there was one little intersection like between our fences that we can go to, and that was known as our little secret spot. You know, if you're going over there, you trying to watch people, you doing your own shit, you on the lookout or whatever. And they was there, and he literally, I'll just say this, she was sitting on his face. Like, children be doing shit like this. And no shade, some of y'all did that too. Because I learned the story about an individual who was fucking a girl in church at 11 years old, fucking her in the bathroom. While the pastor up there preaching, and God said, meanwhile, that pussy talked English, Spanish, and French in the bathroom. And you know who wasn't in the bathroom that time watching the kids fuck? Trans people. They weren't in there. They weren't sitting in the corner talking about, yes, children. No. It was your heterosexual young ass son doing that. And I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18. A lot of my heterosexual peers lost their shit 11, 12 years old. So again, y'all not ready for those conversations. But y'all only ready for the conversation if you like that your son's a fag. That's the only time. Girl, the what?
Trans ain't in the bathroom watching anybody anyway. They're going in there to use the bathroom like everybody else. That's another fallacy. Trans are not in there. And if it's something dressed up in there, dressed up like a woman, and they're in there looking at the other women and doing that, that's not a trans person. That's a heterosexual man trying to, pass themselves off as a trans so they can get them a little peekaboo.
Oh yeah, that's what they. But see, that they're using that. See, the thing is, because they're called imposters, the ones that are just men, like I know what they're talking about. But the thing is, they're trying to blame the trans community. No, they're mixing apples with oranges. There is men that just simply go into the bathroom like. They dress up. They're all men. They dress up all men in the woman's bathroom. But but they're trying to blame the trans community. The trans community don't do that. The trans people don't do that. They go into the bathroom, do their thing, and then they get out. And sometimes they let the women go in the bathroom first. Wait, they come out, and then they go in there by themselves. Or they just, do whatever, and then they come out and, just put makeup on, and that's it. And then they leave.
They don't even know that sometimes they don't even know that person is a trans woman or a trans man. There's plenty of that you can't even tell that they're trans at all. And there's some of them who you might mistake. There's some people who you might mistake as trans and they're not.
let's talk about that real quick.
But the
There was
problem
a
is, what about intersex? How come they don't say anything about people that's intersex? These people say, "Oh, there's only two."
Right.
Like Donald Trump, there's only two genders, but there's three genders.
Right, right. That there.
Yep. And not even that, like
they
again,
ignored that.
there was a video of a woman who was a lesbian but was more of a masculine lesbian, and they were checking her, trying to say, "Are you a trans man?" They don't know. And then on top of that, they can't even say that they've met trans people. Like, do you even know them? Do you know someone who's trans? I mean, y'all know I have black friends. Do you have trans friends?
Right.
And what are your trans friends telling you? And if so, can you put them on your platform so that we can hear from an actual person who is living that experience, as opposed to people who just want to narrate that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. They think they can always tell what, they think they can always tell what something is, or what someone is or isn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. That's just like how they go with the, oh, I can tell when somebody's gay. No, you can't. You might attribute it to some stuff, but there's so many people in this world that's walking around you that's gay, bisexual, whatever, and you don't even have a damn clue. And that's how they get themselves food. That's how they get themselves food, though. They looking at this. A lot of times they look at this macho masculinity or muscles, or taking it, looking at this exterior picture of what they think masculinity and stuff is, and then they get fooled by that,
Mute yourself real quick, Deshaun. Your mic got a little bit of interference. Sorry. Go ahead, T.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then they get fooled by that, and not even realizing that, what they think is straight and masculine is really gay or bisexual, So,
and Deshaun, if you want to speak, you can go ahead and unmute. It was just a feedback. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, they also want, these heterosexual people, such as the opposite sex, want feminine, but then they want to talk about feminine badly. Like, they want to talk about, oh, this is gay, but you're having sex. Okay, so why are you having sex with gay men then if you hate something that you're having sex with, and also don't like something that is feminine and gay, but you're sleeping with them? But you said you wanted a masculine man now. Make that make sense.
Well, then same thing. Well, why do legislators pass laws against homosexuality? Why do they pass these laws, but then they're out here sleeping with us? They're out here picking us up off of the apps and off of the escort services and stuff, but they still get out there and they'll pass legislation against us. It's to hide who they are,
and also force us to play into. It also forces us to literally accommodate them because they rather have us in the closet where they're safe at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, like you said, they go to the apps and do it. Again, the National Republican Convention shut down Grindr. So again, to your point, it's kind of like, yeah, they're picking them up, but it's like, please do it on the hush, because that's where I feel comfortable doing this. And I just use my money, my resources, whatever the case may be, just as a transactional thing. But it's to the detriment of the person who actually lived that experience, because yes, they may be able to benefit from that experience with you in that limited time, but once that thing is up and they go back into the real world, they have to deal with the reality. So it's like very narcissistic. It's like fucking the slave master.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking the slave master. You still a slave. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, that's what they do. They pass the laws against us, but they do it, but they're gay, bisexual, DL, whatever you want to call them. That's them themselves. Then they'll traipse their asses right over they'll pass the law and then hop on the damn plane and head over to the Dominican Republic and go pick them up a young, and not even an adult man. They'll go pick up them damn teenagers and stuff. But then they'll come back here and then go and head home to their wives and their kids and their church. After they got them a little bit of whatever, then they'll come back, come back here to the States or wherever they go, and they'll go back and or head up into the, head out there and pass legislation against us. And then a week or two later, they back out in the Dominican somewhere, picking them up with some more, whatever. So,
and let's continue that real quick. There was this documentary that I watched. I forgot the actual name of it verbatim, but it had to do with, I think, over in, I forgot what country over in. It's in the Middle East somewhere. I'll just say that it's the Middle East somewhere, and you know how strict they are when it comes down to homosexuality. Off with the head, off with the head. But they had this little subsect group where there were these very powerful men who would buy boys from people's families, but they would buy boys that they found pretty or attractive. And there will be times where these men were like, "Oh, I want that boy," but that boy is already claimed by another powerful person. And what these boys would do is that they would live with them. They would teach them how to dance because that was their job, to dance. They would dress in women's garbs and dance for these men. But these boys were physically, sexually, mentally, and emotionally abused, and 9 times out of 10 were unalived or discarded.
mm,
And the people in the community knew about it, very quiet, because these men were powerful.
Yeah.
They literally would sit there and talk openly with each other, whatever. I saw this one boy, and he just whoop 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 whoop, and I was going to say something to him, but I found out that so and so claims him and owns him. I was like, damn. It was like they looked at these boys as a piece of fucking meat. And that's the thing that happens when we talk about protecting the children. They see these children as something to berate, to have power over, because they don't have any real power over themselves. And the fact that those boys were literally bought and purchased for, because in the areas it was very poor. So again, you give us your child, your son, we'll give you some money. Don't worry about it. We'll take very good care of him. We'll make sure he's housed. But then when he turns 17, 18, and he's not considered desirable anymore, they unalive his ass. And they go around looking for the next young boy. And in that documentary, they was literally picking boys up, going to the house, taking them to this certain person who would teach them or prepare them for the dancing aspect. And these men looked like creeps. But because they had money and power and prestige, nobody gonna say nothing to them. And those young boys are being assaulted. Let's not forget about the heterosexual people. Let's just fuck that shit. We go back to the heterosexual people with the live we did a few days ago. When those pastors were marrying or dating girls who were 15, 16 years old and waiting until they became 18 because they were virgins and they were getting ready to take them. There was a guy who said that he was dating his wife when she was fucking 12 years old.
well, hell, that's like
But the gays are in the bathroom just transmuting your children like some full metal alchemist shit. I'm sorry, go ahead, T. My bad.
I'm just saying that shit. Hell, that ain't no different than the damn kings and queens of yesteryear. Where they had hell at birth. They be 2 and 3. Some of those women and stuff, and the boys too. They were groomed to be married. By the time they were 12 to 13. And they were grooming them to be wives and husbands to these kings or queens. And then at that age, that's pedophilia too to me. I don't care if it was another country or in Europe, and that's the way that it was or whatever. Those were kids. And they groom them at those early ages, and then by the time they're 12 or 13, they already have them getting married and stuff, maybe sitting on the throne or whatever. But then they still got to go have sex and produce kids with these, with some of the, and those men could have, some of those kings, they 30 and 40 years old, some of them, 19, 20, and those be 12 and 13-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls and stuff. And they make excuses for that. Well, that's the way it was, and or just like you say, over in
Tradition.
other countries and stuff. They do that stuff now, and they say, well, that's just their culture, and they accept that stuff. But to me, that's that. You know, that I can
Maybe the
see
show
where the
didn't
trauma
affect
would come
my-
in at that type with that type of, you know, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another documentary that was on Netflix. I forgot what it was, but it was a religious cult. This older man, he was like in his fucking 60s, 70s, 80s, or he was up there somewhere. He was the leader of this cult, but he had many wives, and many of his wives were little girls. It's just baffling to me. And then when I found out that in the majority of these here United States of America, that child marriage is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all talking about, well, what about when they start doing the pedophilia? Well, you know they have LGBT. Pretty soon here comes the P. No, the P ain't gonna come. Y'all already own that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
already own that.
they
You
talk
already
about.
proved that.
I mean, that's in
40 something
the
countries believe in
Bible.
child marriage. You already proved that. We don't need to help y'all with that. That's y'all game. Sorry, TBT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's all in the Bible. They were doing all that stuff. Way, you know, them, you know, the people of the ancient times of the Bible. You know, they had them men 40, 50, 60 years old with 20, you know, 20, 30 wives, you know, and then some of those wives were, you know, teenage girls, you know, and then everybody wants to take this Bible and worship it, you know, and whatever, but then they overlook that part, you know. Oh yeah, that was back then, so you know, whatever, but it's bullshit. Because they were doing all that stuff back in that time too, and they be 30, 40, 50, some of them 60 years old. Shit, I can't remember how old some of them was. Whoever this was, one of them lived to be 900. Who was that? Moses, who was supposed to live to be 900
Damn.
years old? Hey, huh?
No, I said, damn.
One of them lived to be 900 years old, and all these damn, you know, supposedly that's the way the story, you know, the parable goes. But I think it was Moses who lived to be was 900 years old or something when he died, 800 or something. So, you know, and all these damn wives and all this other type of stuff. But then we go worship all this stuff, you know, and excuse that type of stuff.
Mm.
And they all had boys and concubines and eunuchs and everything all going on.
Spiritual eunuchs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, but I was gonna say, like, you know, if y'all need a little bit of help to make that more relevant for you, as far as that whole thing happening, let's bring it, you know, closer to American history that we still reference or whatever. Here it is. How'd he die?
On top of me? Y'all remember the color purple? What about this?
Oh my God! Right.
You better not never tell nobody but God. Y'all forget about that part. You forget about that.
Like, come the fuck on. And that's why they get mad at people like me, because it's like, again, if it's equality across the board and you can objectively prove that, then there's nothing that I can argue with. Because at the end of the day, we are humans. I haven't forgotten that. That's really the basis of my channel, my being, is a humanity thing. I realize that there is no I in team, but there is a me, a M and a E. So you got to love yourself first in order for you to be a better teammate. Know your strengths and your weaknesses and admit where you weak at. But because, again, the labels, because someone is gay, because someone is black, because someone is this, because someone is that, I want to move through that. But I think we got to also move through the murky shit. For people to believe that working through this shit is going to be just this easy thing, it's not. It's murky, it's dirty, it's dense, it's thick, it's overwhelming, but damn it, we have work to do. And I just don't want to sit up here and when I get older, God willing, and when I have children, God willing, that my children got to go through the same shit that I went through, that my father went through, that my grandfather went through. There are 3 generations of black men that can talk about their experience, and still it sounds wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. We got to be able to make that change. And I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy enough for it, because the only thing left to do is die. And since we're going to die anyway, since that's going to happen, why not choose life? Extra Smoke says, to me, it's weird that heterosexual people watch you so closely and want to control how you love. It makes so little sense to me. He also says America is less than 10% openly gay. Why are there laws being made to hate and dehumanize because they'd rather have that percentage go from 10 to 0 if they could? Keon says that's so twisted. Extra Smoke says America has a filthy past. Keon says they sit up here and demonize us, those that desire authentic and real consensual love, reciprocity, while putting the cloak over their own malicious horns. Remember the ex-gays say, even if your ass found someone who was the love of your life, Jesus still said no. Extra Smoke said people used to marry early because people didn't live as long as we do now. The filthy never wanted to let that practice go.
So in that in the movie The Color Purple, guess what everybody's outrage was in that movie.
Oh, go ahead.
So what everybody, and especially in the one that was just released, this musical went up that they had, and this was the black folks, but the most outrage they had was because they portrayed Suge and Miss Celie in the lesbian relationship. They didn't have any outrage about her, about Mr. Raping her as a child. There was no outrage about that. All the outrage that they were putting out there that was all over social media, in the comments and all that stuff, was that that they showed Celie and as
Well, Boozy started that
in the relationship.
He started that where he tried to force his kids out of the movie theaters and himself too, because man, I saw two women kissing, man.
Right. But they didn't have no issue with this grown ass man, because I think at that time he would have been in his 30s or 40s, raping Miss Celie and her sister.
Because when it's heterosexual, they actually gatekeep the older people having sex with children. The same thing of what he did to his kid, where he said he'll have a prostitute give head to a 13-year-old. They do this because this is actually pimping children to be turned out to be whores. Basically, that's basically what it is, and that's what it is. Instead of teaching your children about safe sex and what to do and not to, they use grown folks as, it's like grown folks use children as a sex toy, basically. You know what I mean? And and prostitutes supposed to be smarter than that. If they have children, and that's wrong, and you don't see that that's wrong of what you're doing, and you're doing it anyway, there has to be a problem with you, and you have no disdain for human life at all, just because you just want to have sex with a kid. I don't understand that. You are an evil spirit, and you're a low vibrational spirit. They have no regard for human life or kids' lives at all.
Not you over here turning into Blue Dream, eating while you talking. You know them girls. You always talking about the trans girls, girl. What? Girl. I'm just saying, girl. Like, they always talk about the queers, and the queers doing this, but they doing it to the children more, girl. I'm sorry, I got the orange part out of my mouth. But girl. No shade, I ain't hold you, because a part of me is like my munchie's kicking in like a mug, so I'm like really trying to do this, but I'm enjoying the conversation. So if y'all get tired, let me know, because I like this type of shit. So it's up to y'all, because it is one something. I don't know if y'all got shit to do. My shit's pretty flexible, so it's up to y'all. But he says, Bubz the guy, are we switching to dabs now? I have to learn more about dabs. See, there is so much I need to learn, Extra Smoke. I just recently learned how to roll. I've been rolling my own joints. See, I've been doing it. I roll small joints. See, I'm learning now. Before I had a roller, I was using raw cones. but now I'm learning. So there's so much I still need to learn. So shout out to you for the knowledge. Boss Man says dehumanization is divisive, which sells and is lucrative ultimately. And let's talk about that for a second. If I can make you feel safe and I can sell you the best safety, you would pay any amount of money for that. Any amount of money. And war, division is profitable. What they want us to do is they want us to get in the street and literally Mortal Kombat each other. That's what they want. They want us to get in the street and literally fight each other and have a reckless abandonment and disregard for each other. They want it like to be the purge. Everybody out there doing their shit, blowing shit up, all that type of stuff. Because if they do that, then the individuals who created this, and again, we played into it through our emotions and not being objective and working through our shit through self-love, to where now the individuals who created the problem are now the remedy. And they get to come in and make money off of that. You get what I'm saying? So it's sad. Just like how sex sells, so does war. War is very, very profitable. And on top of that, who for them is killing two birds with one stone. We get to destroy you and make money off of it. Wow. Very fucking interesting. And yes, Extra Smoke, if you want to join if you want to join the Short Stack Revolution on Instagram, please make sure you let me know in the DM so I can add you. No shade. Because it would be dope to have you in there. And we talk about everything. But do any of you guys have anything that you would like to talk about? Anything that's on your mind that you would like to speak about particularly? And if not, then maybe we can kind of maybe wrap it up. But like I said, I'm enjoying the conversation. It's up to y'all. But T for T, is there anything that you would like to talk about? Like, well, how about this? Maybe I can interview you or something. How was it for you at this recent protest that you did? Like, again, if you have not subscribed to T for T, make sure y'all do that today. Okay, again, another individual who is having these conversations and also doing things in other ways as well. But he uploaded a video of him protesting. So with that protest, like, what happened? Like, what was it about this protest that was different than the other protests that you probably done?
Well, it wasn't. I've been to many a protest just like this one, you know.
Oh, okay.
And I've been to protests where riots break out. You know, I've been to protests where the police will incite the riots. You know, but this one wasn't any. I've been to them where there was more people than even this one, and even here in Dallas, this one had lots. I mean, it was. I don't even know how many people was there, but it was lots of. And it wasn't just white people. It was you know, it was us blacks mixed in there too. You know, Hispanics, Asians, but it was majority white people. But I've been to these type of protests like this before, and it's more like it's going to have to build even bigger than this in order for it to be effective. Really, you know, to pick up steam and momentum, it's going to even have to build bigger than this all around the whole globe. I mean, all around the United States, but also with the protests and stuff out there in the world too. And like I say, we're going to eventually have to do something also to help build that, help build the momentum in the protest. There's a whole lot of ways you can protest, you don't have to be out there in the street, right? With your boots on the ground, but there's other things you can do to help, you know, to help and to protest in various ways. But this one wasn't really any different. I've been amongst plenty of times where it's been majority of white people out there protesting, or majority of white gays out there protesting. And I've been out there where it's been really only black people out there protesting, you know, for different things, where it's been a black people. And I've been in protests where there's been only gay black people protesting, and then the white people don't come out and vote. You know, I mean, they don't come out and protest with us when it's all black folks. But there's always some, you know, but there is always some white people who are going to come out who don't subscribe to the larger population of, you know, how and they're going to come out and they're genuine. you know,
Mhm.
just like there are some, black people who will go out there in the midst of these white people and protest with them too, because they're genuine also. But it's also like when black people are out there protesting, you're not going to find very many Hispanics out there, but there are going to be some that'll come out. But you're not going to find the white people who are going to come out and protest with us. And you actually don't find very many black people out there protesting with white people either. Black people will come out and protest when. That's why I don't find this. I didn't find the sit your ass down, stay your ass at home. I didn't find anything really that unique about it. I mean, yeah, it was popular, going through social medias and stuff, like that. But I didn't find anything unique about black people staying home, because black people do not come out and they rarely ever come out and protest. Actually, they don't ever come out and protest with white people except for the handful that does. Okay, just like white people don't come out and protest with black people except for the handful that does. So it wasn't unusual that the black people stayed home. A lot of people took it as, like, ooh, we're doing something here. We're going to line dance and we're going to do so and so. We're going to eat barbecue and we'll watch you from the windows. Well, you always do that. So it wasn't nothing different. Black people. So I didn't see anything. That's what I'm saying.
Night, people. I gotta go.
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Deshaun. Appreciate you, man. For real, for real.
Moving a little bit, because
Okay.
but actually, what are we gonna do? Because staying home, that was not unusual, because we don't never go out and protest with the white folks. But eventually, this time, it's very dangerous, and we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to protest. We're going to have to do what you suggest. We're going to have to be all over social media. We're going to have to do a lot of things to keep this from happening or getting worse once it does happen.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't find anything. It wasn't for me to go down there and video it and also protest and stuff myself. Like I said, I was protesting not only for our democracy, not only for for black folks, I was also protesting for the queers and the trans and the non-binaries and stuff. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that was going on down there, and there was a whole lot of people down there other than just people who were fighting for democracy or whatever. There's people, protesting for a whole lot of different reasons. And I could have stayed home. Yeah, I could have stayed home. And I agree with people, stay home, do what whatever, but do something. Do something, but no, it wasn't that different, because black people, I don't know about you, but when have you ever really saw black people mixed up in white people's protests anyway? I rarely see that, like when Trayvon Martin got killed, right? That was 99.9% all black people. But there was a few white people that was out there who didn't agree with that either. There was other ones who voice their opinions online or through the news media, or whatever, who didn't like it or whatever, but you didn't see that many white people in that crowd. You didn't see that many Hispanics in that crowd or Asians or something in that crowd. And you're not going to see black people really go out there when all those white people are out there, when Hispanics are protesting or Asians or something are protesting. We're just not there, so it wasn't nothing unusual for me that we weren't there.
Right.
So stay at home. We stay at home until it's something we need to get out there and protest for. When a black man is getting killed or drugged down the street or arrested and beaten, or a black woman is arrested and beaten and drugged down the street or whatever, then black people will get out in the streets and protest and whatever. And then, they'll get out there, we'll get out there and protest or whatever. But then we are also black and queer. And they don't get out there for us. I do not see black people. I do not see heterosexual black people, with the exception of a handful that will come out there and protest with the black gays and the black trans and the black non-binaries. I only will see a handful, just like I would only see a handful of whites out there too. but the black gays and trans and non-binary or whatever, we will always come out for the heterosexual black community, because we're all of that. We're black and we're heterosexual. I mean, we're black and we're queer. So we're fighting on all ends of the spectrum. We're protesting on all ends of the spectrum, but everybody doesn't afford that same opportunity to us when we need them, and when we need someone to fight for our rights, and get legislation and stuff passed. Because with the white people, it's actually the white gays that actually get all of this legislation passed to help to help gay people, but it mainly benefits them, because black gays and trans usually are still left out of that. But we don't but we don't have the heterosexual community to come in and help us when we need them, the way we help them when they need us.
Right. And that's why, excuse me, I was going to say that I really appreciate you for what you do, and the fact that you and I have connected again. Shout out to Deshaun, because Deshaun asked them Oracle. This shit be happening sometimes because of that nigga. So again, shout out to him. That's why I can allow. I ain't gonna say that because that sounds very bad, but that's why I keep with him in that way, because I'm like, okay, I can at least give you that. You know what I mean? But the fact that you are out here and again you're documenting this and you're showing us what's happening and all this information, and you clocked everybody, including the black community. No shade. Like, I don't know if it's because we've been through this song and dance so much to where it's like, what's the fucking point? Might as well stay home. I ain't gonna do shit. Like, girl, here we go again, and they asking us to help. It's like, girl, we ain't getting in the last 18 times. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But to your point, now that the stakes are bigger this time, because
the stakes are very dangerous.
Like you said, as far as when shit was happening with Black Lives Matter, the response was all lives matter. And okay, if all lives matter, the Black lives need help right now. So if they matter, help them. But again, like you said, it was the majority were black people. And no shade. Shout out to the white people who know that they have privilege and utilize it for the betterment of those who are just trying to get the playing field or equal level. So shout out to y'all for doing it, because again, it will always be them. The Underground Railroad happened also because of them. They had to use their resources as well and put their lives on the line. But again, it's lives on the line. But now that everybody's lives on the line, not everybody want to come out and play and participate. And the issue is, why does it always have to be this? Like, why do we have to always get to this point where it seems like utter death and destruction is about to happen, to where now we have to come together? Because on a spiritual standpoint, the universe, God, source, consciousness, energy does not give a fuck about your personal intentions. It only operates by your energy. So if everybody is operating in a realm of fear, energetically, the universe only knows two things. That's yes, and it's done. Yes, and it will happen. Because we're unconscious through fear, we're going to manifest fear experiences, which is why we're in this situation now. Fear won this election. And this is not anything new. It's been this way. This system has been fear-based. So we have to do something different. But also, to your point, because you go out and you protest, even when you're protesting for all of humanity, you actually begin to work in what is really the DEI, really the diversity, the equity, the inclusion. Because y'all coming together, y'all have a common cause, and you're having fun, and you're getting to know people at that point in time. It's the people that, again, like you said, that stay home, that are angry, that are mad, that are going to be the ones that are going to be fucked up, because at least we out there marching and shit. Y'all not. So when the time comes for y'all to do that, it's going to be new for y'all. But because you document it, you let us know the different realities of it. Like, some of this shit can be peaceful, but sometimes some of this shit going to be violent. And the fact that when you said that in some cases law enforcement starts the shit, that's the
There's infiltrant. They have infiltrants in most most protests, there are always somebody infiltrating the protests to get people stirred up so they can start a riot. And they're very good at doing that with black people's protests. When black people were out there protesting, there's always some white people infiltrating and pretending to be for the cause, or down for the protest or down for the cause, but they're really out there to incite a riot so that the police can, take us out, and to make us look a certain way. And it happens in white protests too, but mostly it happens in protests with black people. And it could have easily happened, in the protest that I was in Dallas, because it has happened before. He must have ran to the bathroom. I don't know where Bubz went to. I'm gonna be signing off of here soon, so I can carry
My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. I done left you up here. I didn't know you. I was like, oh, I hope he ain't stopped talking.
Yeah, I did stop talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, it's about that time. It's about to be 5 hours. I've been live.
Yeah, I'm about
whatever.
to sign off here myself and go to bed. I'm sleepy. I'm wore out from just being in Cincinnati for this whole weekend. I'm still tired and dragging.
Well, first of all, thank you again so much for even sharing your time with us. At least like you said, 5 hours. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but it is always appreciated. And before you leave, didn't you say that you might be having something happening on your channel this week?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have. We'll have another panel discussion. I want to talk about Well, I want to talk about the issue that you brought up about trauma, and the different the different aspects of trauma, and then but I also want to talk about homosexuality. Is homosexuality amoral? Is it moral, immoral, or amoral? Right. So I want to kind of throw that and weave that in there also, and then and how trauma relates, how trauma from religious aspects correlates or can, track back to, how they treat us, with homosexual, with this homosexuality. But and with the short stack revolution, coming in, we'll have just like another panel discussion off of your topic, and and the different types of trauma, because people have different types of trauma. It ain't all the trauma ain't because we're homosexual, or queer, or or whatever, or been abused. There's different types of trauma. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people definitely are traumatized by this, the Bible and how it relates to homosexuality. A lot of queers are traumatized.
I definitely. But again, we'll definitely get to y'all about I guess the date of that live, but we're definitely gonna go ahead and support. So make sure that y'all subscribe to Tit for Tat. Awesome individual. And again, thank you so much for being here. Definitely looking forward to your perspectives more on things to help me understand and grow. And yes, you're really about community, so it's good to find other people who are about that as well. So let's continue to do that in our own unique ways. So,
but I don't just protest out on the street though.
Right.
There's more to than just if you just go out and protest and you don't do anything after that, doesn't any damn thing. You have to do. There's other things you have to be involved in to keep. That's just like when you go out and vote. If you only go out and vote in the general election and you're not voting in your local elections and you're not petitioning your congressman or congresswoman, or you're not doing this and doing some, doing other things, it's fruitless. It does nothing. So just for me to just go out there and protest, that's just one aspect of it. There's other things that I have to do, to help, help this democracy, to help, to help our communities, and stuff too. If I just left it there, then that accomplishes nothing. That's just me out there with a damn photo op, And that's the thing with protests too. There's some people who only come out for a photo op. They only come out to protest, and that's all they do. They don't do anything else, and then that's why they can fall off sometimes. But protests also they bring awareness. That's what protests really do. They bring awareness to issues and oppression and stuff where some people may not have paid any attention to what's going on or anything like that until they actually saw that. And some people will discard it and ignore it, or whatever, like, oh, this doesn't do shit, or this is not so and so, but that's not true. Actually, a lot of our legislation and laws that we have been able to get passed is due to people out there actually getting out there, being, protesting, and with their activism, and pushing them and making them, making our presidents and making our legislators, aware, or whatever, and we'll vote your ass out the next time if you don't, if so and so, you know what I mean? So protests, protests do help. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they can make it worse, but most times protests do help bring that awareness. When you see that many people out there, and then and just say if 60% of the black, just say 50% of black people in America would have showed up to that protest, do you know what would have, what message that would have sent? That would have sent even a bigger message that, you're not going to be able to do this, Donald Trump and the Republicans. You're not going to be able to do this, But with us actually, staying home because we are tired and we have been through this before, or whatever, which we stay home anyway. Shit, you know what I'm saying? We stay home. We wouldn't have participated in it anyway. But just say if we had got out there, the message that would have sent, because it would have been a bigger coalition than what those Trump people get out there and do. We would have overpowered them, and we would have shown that most of America is not that. But with us not being there, and then this many, half of America, this half of white America showing up out there, but then we still have that other MAGA half out there, you know what I mean? That's out there. So when they get ready to protest and they're going to go out and they tear up shit. We saw what happened on January 6th, But if we would have joined in that, whatever, they would have saw that there's more of us than them. So right now they're still thinking that it's more of them than us, And then a lot of them think, well, the blacks ain't going to do nothing. The blacks ain't going to do nothing, so we're going to be able to push this agenda. We're going to be able to do this, because they're not going to join in, or whatever. But then once that agenda is fully implemented and pushed, okay, they're not only going to come for the protesters and stuff that were out there, they're going to come for us. We're not safe just because we stay home. And history has always shown that we have never been safe just because we don't participate or we stay home. Because there's been slaves who never participated in any, whatever. They just sell your ass down the river for, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't matter because they still came for them. So that whatever we can do, and it doesn't have to be boots on the ground protesting, but whatever we can do, we got to do something. This sent a little message with the black folks staying home, because they actually voiced it this time. We're staying home because this is the reason. These are the reasons why we're staying home. So America did hear that, whatever. But what are we going to do next time? And when it really gets bad and something like that, we're going to have to get out there and fight for, basically fight for our livelihoods, because it's not just gonna go away or not affect, or it's gonna affect the white people. It's, we're all Americans. It's gonna affect all of us, So when they take away everything or whatever, they're taking it away from us too, and then we might not be able to stand back and dance. We might not have no damn.
You ain't gonna be able to dance forever, black people, but you can dance a little bit. Shake that shit out. Shake it out.
Rest yourself up, and then be figuring out what the plan is, because we have to have a plan. Yeah. We have to have a plan.
Yes. T for T, thank you again, man. I look forward, and I'm sure my platform looks forward to collaborating with you and learning more, because I'm pretty sure there are things that I'm very ignorant about when it comes down to protesting and just some of the different aspects, and I'm at least willing to learn and to receive new information and use critical thinking. So thank you again, man.
But what you're saying is valid also.
You're
calling for stuff that we're going to need to do also. All of it's going to have to help, and we're going to need these new ideas, and we're going to have to incorporate it with the old and the new. You know what I'm saying? In order to overcome this, what's about to happen, what is happening, not what about to happen, what is happening. And right now we're still kind of idle. You know what I mean? Right now we are still kind of idle. We're ramping up, but we haven't ramped up enough.
Yeah. Or I think this time what we could do is, and if you leave when you need to leave, because I might just rip a little bit, just for a little bit.
Go ahead and rip.
But to your point, yes, we're going to definitely need different ways of thinking. I use this quote all the time from the House of Dragons. In order to slay a dragon, you need to hit it from multiple angles. You can't just hit it from one angle all the time. You're going to keep it fucked up. So you have to continue to think differently. And that's the purpose of my lives, purpose of my channel, is to find those people who are willing to think differently. Because we're going to need all this shit. Which is why, again, we got to work through queerphobia. We got to work through racism. Imagine if we can work through this. Imagine if we could be the generation that has the opportunity to not just continuously say, oh, well, it won't happen in my lifetime, but actually be the ones who said, fuck that shit. It's happening this lifetime.
Happening. The impossible is always possible. Just like that. I forgot the guy's name who quoted it. I had it in one of my other lives with me and Charles's lives, But he said the impossible is always possible.
Yeah.
What we think will never happen, while we sit by and be complacent, what we think will never happen, it happens right while we're being complacent. Okay, then it becomes possible, and then where are we left?
Yeah.
Then they came for me because first I did nothing. Because I was not them. I wasn't black. I wasn't gay. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. I'm here. oh no, I'm this type of person. They'll never come for me. Whatever. I'm an upstanding citizen. Look. Eventually they come for they come for all of us.
So if they're gonna come for all of us, we might as well just fucking work together.
Yeah.
Point. Instead of them just picking us off one by one. Oh, y'all just let us do it. No, come together and make that shit hard for them. Again, we could be the generation that makes a difference. And I for me, I'm just crazy enough to believe it, because like I said, I know I'm gonna die one day. I don't know when, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on earth. And I think about that every day, and I not in a way of, oh my God, I'm scared, but it's like, no, live, believe that things can happen. Believe there's other people up there who are limiting you through fear and preventing you from rising. Not because you have the talent to, but that you may rise greater than them, and they don't want you to be bigger than them, but they don't gatekeep greatness. Greatness is for those that want it, and it's up for us to realize that it's inside of us, which is why they need us to sell our souls to them. They need us to play into their shit. They need us for this. But if enough people could come together. Fuck just black people making their own parallel universe. What if all of us could find a way and say, okay, you know what? There is another version of America, and that will manifest. That is actually the melting pot of all of us. That we are the one place where we are a melting pot of everything that there is, and learn to find the beauty of that and just call it Americans, to actually manifest what Lady of Liberty, they say she represents. For all of these famous documents that we uphold and say that will protect us, when this trauma administration does not give a fuck about that. So now that we're here, not only are we going to work together, we're going to have to learn how to work together. And sometimes you're going to have to be accountable first. That's it. We're not going to do this as far as, oh, we be accountable later. No, because there may not be a later. So let's deal with shit right now. Be accountable now for your shit, which means I'm sorry. I got some sorries that I got to give in my own damn life individual. But anyway, any lasting words you'd like to give the people before you go ahead and sign off?
Oh no.
Because the damn light is getting ready to fall asleep. It's like the light, it's like your eyes opening and closing and shit. Even the light in the background is dimming and brightening. Yes, Tinkerbell is saying, come on, bring your ass to bed. You know, Tinkerbell always fly around with the light and shit. And you got to clap to bring her ass back to life.
Right. Just
Or
thank
whatever.
everybody who, for the short stack, not the short stack. Just thank everybody for, being on today, and then thank the people who are coming in later to watch. Hopefully something that we all talked about can help, help move people somewhere.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody.
Thank you. And T for T, make sure you get some rest, man. And I'll definitely be talking to you and looking forward to your panel discussion. And we will definitely be over there. So have a good night, man.
I'm working on it tomorrow, and then it'll probably be this week sometime. But y'all give me the time. Give me a time when everybody's when everybody can, whoever's going to be on it can, hop on. What's convenient for everybody else. I'm pretty flexible.
Right. Okay, cool. Same here. So we'll definitely work everything out. But
we'll work
go ahead
out in our short
and enjoy your night.
We'll talk about it in there.
All right, then. Have a good night, man. Talk to you soon.
All righty. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today here on Tit for Tat, this and that. Appreciate you for joining me. Good night, Dallas. Good night, world.